Chapter 982. The last battle of the captains was between Nai Hu and Hu Ming. Although both of them were at the peak of LV9 Profound King Realm, the gap between them was obvious. Many people did not think that Hu Ming would win. Even the members of the third team did not think that Hu Ming would be Nai Hu's opponent. On the martial arts practice platform, Nai Hu's eyes were filled with resentment as he looked at Hu Ming. Nai Hu, I've been wanting to fight with you for a long time. Today, I finally get my wish. Hu Ming smiled. You'll regret it. Nai Hu said eerily. The aura around him was terrifying. Hu Ming was full of fighting spirit and his aura increased. Then let's fight. Hu Ming shouted and struck out with his palm. Suddenly, the sky changed color. The wild spiritual energy turned into a terrifying palm print in the sky and rushed towards Nai Hu. Insignificant skill. Nai Hu sneered and suddenly punched out. Crack. Nai Hu's fist looked simple, but it shattered Hu Ming's palm print attack. Seeing this, Hu Ming's fighting spirit became stronger. Heaven and earth in the palm. Hu Ming used his unique skill, heaven and earth in the palm. Hu Ming was famous in the First Army because of his unique skill, heaven and earth in the palm. Hu Ming did not use it in the battle with the fourth team leader. Now, he was fully aware of Nai Hu's strength, so he did not hesitate to use the heaven and earth in the palm. Woo! Hu Ming's palm suddenly enlarged countless times. Then, it shrunk rapidly. After 10 breaths, Hu Ming's palm expanded to its maximum size. His palm was as big as the martial arts stage. His palm was like a small world. There was a vast amount of spiritual energy and the extremely sharp power of heaven and earth. Is this the heaven and earth in the palm that you're so proud of? Nai Hu sneered. Let's see what you're going to do after I break your heaven and earth. As soon as Nai Hu finished speaking, he clenched his fist. The aura around him gathered on his fist and he punched out. This punch had reached the limit of the Profound King Realm and was comparable to the strength of a half-step to the Heaven's Starborder Realm. Dong. Nai Hu's fist heavily hit the heaven and earth in the palm. Crack. A crack appeared in the heaven and earth in the palm. However, after a short confrontation, Nai Hu's fist radiance dissipated and he was forced to retreat. However, Hu Ming was in an even more sorry state. Cracks appeared in the world within his palm, and it was difficult for him to maintain it. He kept retreating and stabilized himself with great difficulty. He opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood, his face extremely pale. Not yet. Seeing this, Nai Hu's expression turned completely gloomy. He was the First Army's chief guard captain, yet he was unable to shatter Hu Ming's heaven and earth in the palm in front of so many people. To him, this was intolerable. Since that's the case, I'll make sure that you'll never be able to use the heaven and earth within a palm again. Nai Hu roared crazily. In the next moment, his figure appeared in front of Hu Ming. Before Hu Ming could react, a scarlet maple leaf appeared in Nai Hu's hand. Then, he placed it into Hu Ming's world in the palm. Boomei violent aura instantly spread out, and the vital spirit within the scarlet maple leaf exploded. Pucha, the heaven and earth in the palm, was smashed into pieces without any resistance. Then, a figure instantly flew out from the chaotic spiritual chi. When the crowd looked over, they were shocked. At this moment, Hu Ming was in a sorry state. His clothes were stained with blood, and his palm was torn apart. Captain Hu. The members of the third Guardian team roared as they rushed to the bottom of the stage and surrounded Hu Ming. Fang Chen hurried over with an ugly expression. He tapped a few times on Hu Ming's body and sealed his acupuncture points. Send the captain back, Fang Chen said. Hu Yanlong and the others hurriedly sent Hu Ming away. Nai Hu, you're too ruthless. Nai Hu, you bastard. How dare you use the scarlet maple leaf? You crippled our captain. I'm going to kill you. Nai Hu's actions angered the entire Third Army. There's no rule in the competition that forbids me from using the scarlet maple leaf, Nai Hu sneered. If it weren't for Fang Chen stopping them, the members of the Third Army would have rushed to the martial arts arena and fought Nai Hu. On the main stage, the first commander said with a gloomy expression, Nai Hu, you've gone too far. First commander, Hu Ming is no match for me, but he refuses to admit defeat. I can't do anything about it, Nai Hu said as he shrugged. Since you used the scarlet maple leaf, Hu Ming is half crippled, the second commander said. Although they were unhappy with Naihu's actions, they couldn't say anything since he didn't violate the rules. However, it was a pity for Hu Ming. All right, the competition ends here, the two commanders said with a gloomy expression. The crowd was about to leave. However, at this moment, Naihu suddenly said, "Commanders, I've long heard of Captain Fang's extraordinary talent. I've always admired him for being able to fight a 9th-level Mystic King martial artist when he's only at the 5th-level Mystic King stage. I wonder if you can give me a chance to fight with Captain Fang and let me see what a genius is like." The crowd that was about to leave suddenly stopped when they heard this. Even Fang Chen narrowed his eyes and looked at Naihu. This, the two commanders pondered and seemed to be discussing. "Commanders, I would also like to seek advice from Captain Naihu." Fang Chen took the initiative to speak. Originally, the two commanders wanted to refuse, but since Fang Chen himself agreed, they directly nodded. "All right, the two of you fight. Be careful and don't overdo it." Fang Chen stepped onto the martial arts practice stage and stared at Naihu. "Captain Fang, I won't hold back in the battle later," Naihu said with a smile. "Captain Naihu, please don't be angry if I'm too heavy-handed," Fang Chen said calmly. "Why would I?" Killing intent flashed through Naihu's eyes. With the two commanders present, he couldn't kill Fang Chen in front of everyone, but he could use this opportunity to cripple Fang Chen. "Captain Fang, take this," Naihu shouted in a low voice as the aura around him surged. Specks of light flickered on his body and moved continuously before finally converging on his fist. Starburst Fist. Naihu performed the Starburst Fist, and the void shook as he punched out. Ignorant. Fang Chen stood motionless on the martial arts practice stage. Looking at Naihu's attack, he felt that the latter was an idiot. Naihu was thoroughly enraged by Fang Chen's actions. With a roar, the Starburst Fist increased the speed of his attack. Just as Naihu's attack was about to reach Fang Chen, two scarlet maple leaves suddenly appeared in the latter's hand. "Are you the only one who knows how to use it?" Fang Chen didn't give Naihu any chance and threw out the two scarlet maple leaves. Rumble. A deafening explosion resounded through the sky. The martial arts practice stage was shaking. The vital essence contained in the two scarlet maple leaves was too fierce. Even a half-step Heaven Realm martial artist couldn't resist it, let alone Naihu. "Ah!" Naihu screamed miserably in the horrifying vital essence. When he rushed out, he was in a sorry state. One of his arms was directly blown off. The wound on his back was horrifying. His flesh was gone, and only his bones were left. "Commander, please help me." Naihu was in pain all over, but his body was still dazzled by the vital essence. He begged the commander to save him. The two commanders didn't expect things to turn out like this. In fact, they had forgotten that Fang Chen had obtained 10 scarlet maple leaves from Steward Li. The two commanders looked at each other and then took action together, suppressing the horrifying vital essence in an instant. Poochie. The invading vital essence was forced out of his body. At this time, Naihu was no longer popular. It wasn't easy to keep his life. The huge square was dead silent. A moment ago, he was so glorious. The next moment, he was in such a miserable state. At the same time, everyone looked at Fang Chen with horror in their eyes. Fang Chen was too crazy. He actually used 2 scarlet maple leaves at once. "Take him down to heal." Seeing that Naihu was no longer popular, the commander said in a deep voice. "Okay, let's disperse." The two captains glanced at Fang Chen but did not say anything in the end. The members of the third guard team were extremely excited. Hu Ming was seriously injured by Naihu, and now Fang Chen seriously injured Naihu. It was also a sign up. No one would have thought that such a thing would happen in this year's competition for captains. Chapter 983. In the competition between captains, Fang Chen unexpectedly won the position of Chief Guard Captain. This was an unparalleled honor that represented strength and power. Although it pained him to waste 2 scarlet maple leaves and cripple Naihu. However, Fang Chen didn't care too much about it. After this battle, all the martialists in the First Army looked at Fang Chen with eyes full of reverence. Fang Chen's scarlet maple leaves were intimidating, but he was also very strong. As for the two commanders, they looked at Fang Chen in a new light. Fang Chen's potential was very strong in the entire Sky Sword Mansion. Naihu couldn't compare to Fang Chen at all. After the competition ended, the two commanders decided to give Fang Chen a reward as the head guard captain. The first reward was a generous 1 million purple crystals. The second reward was amnesty for a hell-level mission. The third reward was an advanced-level sword truth scroll. When Fang Chen saw the advanced-level sword truth scroll, his eyes lit up. As a sword cultivator, he naturally knew how powerful the sword truth scroll was. When he was in the ancient sword continent, he was lucky enough to obtain the advanced-level sword truth scroll. After that, he successfully took the 5 steps and condensed the sword heart. After condensing the sword heart, his sword cultivation speed became faster. And now, the two commanders actually rewarded him with the advanced-level sword truth scroll. Fang Chen held the advanced-level sword truth scroll with a smile on his face. Fang Chen, you have great potential in the sword truth scroll. Cultivate well and strive to step into the Heaven Star Border realm one day, the commander said. Fang Chen nodded heavily and said, "Thank you, commanders." Compared to the hell-level mission and the million purple crystals, Fang Chen liked the advanced-level sword truth scroll the most. After returning to the third troop, Fang Chen immediately took out the advanced-level sword truth scroll and read it. The advanced-level sword truth scroll included the 5 steps of the sword truth: sword momentum, sword intent, sword soul, and sword heart. Each of these 5 steps was incomparably profound. On the other hand, the advanced sword quintessence scroll also had 5 steps. As for the 5 steps, they were divided according to their titles. They were Sword Hero, Sword King, Sword Emperor, Sword Spirit, and Sword God. Sword Hero, a hero of the sword. Sword King, the king of swords. Sword Emperor, the emperor of swords. Sword Spirit. Sword Dao was connected to the spirit. The Sword God's Sword Dao had reached divinity. Although these 5 steps seemed to be a title, they were actually the last 5 steps of Sword Dao. If he could successfully cultivate it, his Sword Dao would reach divinity and reach the true pinnacle of Sword Dao. As expected of Sword Quintessence. Fang Chen's eyes glowed as he couldn't help but sigh. The first step was Sword Hero. If one wanted to succeed in cultivating Sword Hero, one had to have a perfect sword heart. Then, one had to use the power of heaven and earth to fuse the sword heart into one's comprehension of Sword Dao. At this moment, he could be considered to have reached the initial stage of the Sword Grandmaster realm. After reaching the Sword Hero realm, one's comprehension of the Sword Dao would be even deeper. Practicing swordsmanship would yield twice the result with half the effort. After careful observation, Fang Chen prepared to start cultivating the advanced sword truth comprehension scroll. Hiss, hiss, his sword chi circled around his body, and the 7th grade sword quintessence instantly spread out. In Fang Chen's body, the sword heart floated up and constantly wandered around in Fang Chen's limbs and bones. Waves of Sword Dao aura ran through his entire body. Fang Chen continued to comprehend the contents of the advanced sword truth comprehension scroll. Time flowed like water. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. During this half a month, Fang Chen had been working hard to cultivate repeatedly. However, it was very difficult to take the step to become a sword hero. He was still a little lacking in maturity, and he couldn't integrate the sword heart into his comprehension of Sword Dao. However, Fang Chen didn't give up. After trying for half a month, he finally found a trick. Today, he continued to break through to the Sword Hero realm. At a certain moment, in the territory of Sky Sword Mansion, a deafening sound resounded through the sky. Immediately after, in a certain part of the sky, the void was torn apart, and spatial turbulence appeared. It was very terrifying. Then, a void stone gate suddenly appeared, exuding an extremely terrifying aura. Around this void stone gate, there was an extremely powerful spatial turbulence. Even if a Heaven Star Realm expert got close, he or she would be torn to pieces. On this day, the entire demon cloud state was shaken. In Sky Sword Mansion. What happened? Why is there such a big commotion? The Sky Sword Mansion Master had just come out of seclusion. He instantly felt the majestic aura and asked directly, "Mansion Master, in our Sky Sword Mansion, the space was torn apart, and spatial turbulence appeared. It seems that a relic has appeared." A relic has appeared. The Mansion Master's face changed slightly. Immediately, the Mansion Master's figure flashed and disappeared from the mansion. At the same time, the other 7 mansions were also alarmed. The Mansion Masters of the 7 mansions rushed to the spatial turbulence. Even the Demon Cloud family in the prefecture city was alarmed. In a dangerous place in Sky Sword Mansion. In the sky, there was a star-like void stone gate, exuding an awe-inspiring aura. Wisps of star power shot out from the void stone gate and sprinkled on the ground. Around the void stone gate, there was extremely terrifying spatial turbulence. These spatial turbulence were forcefully brought out by the void stone gate. It was extremely terrifying. Whoosh, whoosh. After some time, the Sky Sword Mansion Master was the first to arrive. He stood in the air and looked at the void stone gate from afar. What a powerful spatial turbulence! The Sky Sword Mansion Master's face was extremely solemn. He did not dare to get close to the void stone gate. The spatial turbulence was very chaotic, and the surrounding air was shattered. Could it really be a relic? The Sky Sword Mansion Master muttered to himself. In the vast universe, there were countless ancient relics hidden. These ancient relics were hidden in every corner of the universe. In the universe, some inexplicable relics would appear from time to time. The relic's appearance this time was too big, and it alarmed the 8 mansions of the Demon Cloud state. Crash. After a while, the martial artists of the other 7 mansions also arrived. Sky Sword, you were the first to arrive. Did you find anything? A mansion master asked. The Sky Sword Mansion Master shook his head and said, "The spatial turbulence is too strong. I can't get close. This is clearly an ancient relic. I just don't know what's inside." Another mansion master said. The 8 mansion masters stood side by side and discussed with each other. Just as the 8 mansion masters were discussing, the Grand Elder of the Demon Cloud family arrived. Grand Elder. The 8 mansion masters cupped their hands and called out. The Grand Elder of the Demon Cloud family was second only to the Patriarch of the Demon Cloud state. So even the 8 mansion masters were very respectful when they saw him. Grand Elder, do you know what kind of relic this is? The Sky Sword Mansion Master asked. If my guess is correct, this should be the seclusion place of the Demon Cloud State's Sky Devil Sword Emperor. The Grand Elder of the Demon Cloud family said slowly with a solemn expression. Hearing this, the 8 mansion masters cried out at the same time. No one was more shocked than the Sky Sword Mansion Master. Among the 8, he was the one who knew the Sky Devil Sword Emperor the most. Because the Sky Devil Sword Emperor came from the Sky Sword Mansion. In the historical records of the Sky Sword Mansion, the Sky Sword Mansion Master had once read about the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. The Sky Devil Sword Emperor rose 100,000 years ago. At that time, he was very famous. The Sky Devil Sword art shocked everyone. But later, the Sky Devil Sword Emperor mysteriously disappeared. Everyone guessed that he should have died. But now, the seclusion place of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor appeared in the Sky Sword Mansion. Could it be that this was the blessing of fate? As long as we have the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor, our Sky Sword Mansion will definitely stand out among the 8 mansion masters. The Sky Sword Mansion Master was very excited. The other 7 mansion masters' eyes were shining. Grand Elder, there is a strong spatial turbulence at the Void Stone Gate. How do we go in? A mansion master asked hurriedly. The Grand Elder of the Demon Cloud family said, I just checked. Heavenstar border realm powerhouses can't enter the seclusion place of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. Hearing this, the 8 mansion masters' faces changed slightly. Heavenstar border realm powerhouses couldn't enter. Didn't that mean they were going to miss the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor? This matter needs to be discussed at length. Go back immediately and block the news and wait for the Patriarch's news. The Grand Elder of the Demon Cloud family said in a deep voice. This time, the appearance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's seclusion place caused a huge commotion. The other mansion masters that were adjacent to the Demon Cloud Mansion might also be alarmed. Therefore, they must block the news. The Sky Devil Sword Emperor came from the Demon Cloud Mansion. The inheritance he left behind should be inherited by the Demon Cloud Mansion. Okay, we will go back and make arrangements. The 8 mansion masters nodded at the same time and quickly returned. Chapter 984. The 8 prefectures of the Demon Cloud State jointly blocked the news. Except for the people of the 8 prefectures, no one else knew about this news. The official explanation was that there was a Heaven Dipper realm powerhouse fighting in the Skysword Prefecture. Many people didn't believe it, but they couldn't go to the source of the movement, so the matter was left unsettled. In the Skysword Prefecture, Fang Chen was still cultivating. He didn't know that the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's place of seclusion had appeared in the Skysword Prefecture. Many people went crazy over it. How can I integrate the Sword Heart into the comprehension of Sword Dao? Fang Chen was still troubled by this question, and his head was about to explode. However, he couldn't figure it out at all. Sword Dao, Sword Dao. Fang Chen comprehended the advanced Sword Dao Truth Scroll over and over again, demonstrating his comprehension of Sword Dao over and over again. Finally, after another half a month, there was finally a little progress. At a certain moment, the 7th grade sword intent instantly spread out around Fang Chen's body and swept through the room. Then, the sword chi on Fang Chen's body was changing a little bit. In his body, the sword heart was no longer rotating and stayed in a certain part of his body, waiting to merge. Decompose. Suddenly, Fang Chen shouted in a low voice, and the sword intent crazily gathered together, and then directly wrapped the sword heart, trying to decompose it. This was also the method that Fang Chen thought of. Decompose it first, and then try to integrate it into the comprehension of Sword Dao. Crack. There was a crack in the sword heart, and the decomposition seemed to have taken a successful step. It works. Fang Chen was overjoyed, and then continued to decompose the sword heart. Half an hour later, the sword heart was decomposed to the last moment, but it suddenly got stuck. No matter how Fang Chen decomposed it, the sword heart remained motionless. It seemed to be competing with Fang Chen, which made Fang Chen speechless. Crash. After some attempts, it still ended in failure. I failed. A touch of helplessness flashed across Fang Chen's face as he said. However, after thinking for a moment, he calmed down. Although the fusion had failed this time, he had found the right direction. I'll definitely succeed, Fang Chen thought to himself. Just as Fang Chen was deep in thought, someone suddenly called his name. Fang Chen walked out to take a look and was surprised to find that it was Captain Hu Ming. Captain Hu, what's the matter? Why are you so flustered? Fang Chen asked. Fang Chen, the mansion master has come out of seclusion. He wants you to go over. Hu Ming had a worried look on his face. While the Heavenly Sword Mansion Master was in seclusion, the Heavenly Body Tier elite behind Fang Chen had crippled Butler Li's cultivation. After that, Fang Chen used 2 scarlet maple leaves to cripple Nai Hu, the captain of the guards. Hu Ming was worried that the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master would punish Fang Chen. The Sky Sword Prefecture Master is looking for me, Fang Chen asked. Fang Chen, you, Hu Ming said. Fang Chen waved his hand, and said, it's nothing. I'll go take a look. Hu Ming accompanied Fang Chen to the gate of the City Lord's mansion, and then watched as Fang Chen entered. In the meeting hall of the City Lord's mansion, apart from the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master, who was sitting on the throne, there was no one else. Mansion Master, Fang Chen requests an audience, Fang Chen said outside the door. Come in. The Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master's voice was light. After entering the meeting hall, Fang Chen realized that there was only him and the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master. He raised his head to look at the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master, and then asked, Mansion Master, why have you called me here? Fang Chen couldn't guess why the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master had called him here. You've broken through? The Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master asked instead of answering. Fang Chen nodded. The Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master smiled in satisfaction. Fang Chen, I already know what happened after I went into seclusion, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said. I truly didn't think that there would actually be a heavenly body tier elite behind you, the Heavenly Sword Mansion Master said. Mansion Master. The Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master waved his hand to stop Fang Chen from speaking. Then, he said, the fault of the whole matter lies with Butler Li, and he has also been punished. As for Nai Hu, you two can fight normally, and I won't interfere. Hearing the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master's words, Fang Chen was secretly delighted. It seemed that the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master had called him here not to condemn him, but for something else. Sure enough, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master spoke slowly. Fang Chen, the reason I called you here is because there's something I need you to do, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said. Mansion Master, please speak, Fang Chen said. The Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master was very satisfied with Fang Chen's attitude. Now, there's a great opportunity in front of you. It depends on whether you cherish it or not, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said with a slightly serious expression. Great opportunity? Fang Chen was slightly puzzled. Mansion Master, please enlighten me. Half a month ago, the void in my Heavenly Sword Prefecture tore apart, and spatial turbulence appeared. Along with the spatial turbulence, an ancient ruin appeared, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said. Hearing this, Fang Chen's heart trembled. This ancient ruin belonged to an elite of my Heavenly Sword Prefecture 100,000 years ago, the Heavenly Devil Sword Emperor. Heavenly Devil Sword Emperor. Fang Chen cried out involuntarily. He had also read the history books of the Heavenly Sword Prefecture, and knew about the Heavenly Devil Sword Emperor. He didn't expect that the Heavenly Devil Sword Emperor's place of seclusion would appear in the Heavenly Sword Prefecture. This, Fang Chen's heart was filled with astonishment. Previously, the 8 Mansion Masters went to investigate, but the spatial turbulence was too strong, and we couldn't get close. Just 3 days ago, the Demon Cloud Clan sent news that after the Demon Cloud Clan's investigation, that ancient ruin could only be entered by martial artists below the Heaven Dipper tier, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said. In the past 3 days, the 8 Mansion Masters have been gathering martial artists, preparing to let them enter the ancient ruin. Mansion Master, you mean to let me in? Fang Chen asked. The Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master nodded and said, Fang Chen, this time, 400 people from our Heavenly Sword Prefecture will enter, and you will be their leader. Mansion Master, since this ancient ruin will affect the entire Demon Cloud State, the other 7 Mansion Masters will definitely send their elites in, Fang Chen said. The other 7 Mansion Masters are nothing to be afraid of, but the Demon Cloud Clan is the most dangerous. There will definitely be half-step Heaven Dipper tier martial artists in their team, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said. Fang Chen fell into silence. Opportunities were often accompanied by danger. After thinking for a long time, Fang Chen nodded heavily and said, Mansion Master, I'm willing to enter. Hearing this, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master smiled. The choice of Fang Chen as the leader was made after careful consideration. Moreover, there was another purpose, which was to train Fang Chen. The Sky Devil Sword Emperor's unique skill is the Sky Devil Sword technique. This time, your first task is to get the Sky Devil Sword technique and bring it out. As for the other inherited treasures, they are yours if you get them, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said. The Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master's meaning was obvious. The Heavenly Sword Prefecture only wanted the Sky Devil Sword technique, and nothing else. This was also a reward for Fang Chen. Fang Chen nodded heavily. Well, go back and rest. We will go to the ruins tomorrow, the Heavenly Sword Prefecture Master said. In the territory of the Demon Cloud State, the 8 prefectures were nervously screening the martial artists to enter the ruins. Since the Heaven Dipper tier martial artists couldn't enter, the half-step Heaven Dipper tier martial artists were the strongest. They were trying to find half-step Heaven Dipper tier martial artists. The Demon Cloud Clan was the least anxious. They were the overlord force of the Demon Cloud State and controlled the entire Demon Cloud State. Countless geniuses had joined the Devil Cloud family. There were many half-step Heaven Dipper tier martial artists in the Demon Cloud Clan. In the capital of the Demon Cloud State, inside the Demon Cloud Clan. Patriarch, everything is ready. There are a total of 200 people entering the ruins, including 50 half-step Heaven Dipper tier martial artists, the Great Elder said in a low voice. Hearing this, the Demon Cloud Clan Master nodded with satisfaction. This was the foundation of the Demon Cloud Clan. The other 8 prefectures couldn't compare at all. We must get the Sky Devil Sword technique that made the Sky Devil Sword Emperor famous, the Demon Cloud Clan Master said. I have already told them that the other 8 prefectures can't compete with our Demon Cloud Clan at all, the Great Elder said. After speaking, the Great Elder suddenly thought of something and said, Patriarch, today Lian Heng came out of seclusion. He wants to enter the ancient ruins, the Demon Cloud Clan Master said. The Great Elder nodded and waited for the Demon Cloud Clan Master's reply. This time, our Demon Cloud Clan's team is huge. It's good to let Lian Heng temper himself. Maybe he can break through to the Heaven Dipper tier, the Demon Cloud Clan Master said. Demon Cloud Lian Heng was the leader of the younger generation of the Demon Cloud Clan's direct bloodline. Chapter 985. 3 days later, the Sky Sword Mansion Master personally led 400 martial artists to the Void Stone Gate. Not long after, the group arrived at the Void Stone Gate. Is that the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's place of seclusion? Looking from afar, they could still feel the shocking aura. There was a terrifying spatial turbulence at the Void Stone Gate. Many martial artists were talking about it. Beside Fang Chen stood Hu Ming. Hu Ming was also one of the martial artists who entered the relic. What a terrifying spatial turbulence. Hu Ming was shocked and muttered to himself. Even a Heaven Star Border Realm expert will be torn to shreds if he gets close to such spatial turbulence. Fang Chen nodded. Wait. The Sky Sword Mansion Master waved his hand and said loudly. 400 warriors stood quietly on the wasteland, waiting. Time trickled by, and the practitioners from the other 7 prefectures also arrived one after another. The last to arrive were the martial artists from the Demon Cloud family. As expected of the Demon Cloud family, there are already 50 half-Heaven Star Border Realm martial artists. Everyone discussed secretly. The faces of the 8 mansion masters changed slightly, but they quickly regained their composure. Grand Elder. The 8 mansion masters greeted the Grand Elder. After the martial artists from the Demon Cloud family arrived, the Grand Elder gathered the 8 mansion masters to discuss opening the relic. Grand Elder, how can we open the relic? The Sky Sword Mansion Master asked. The upper echelons of the Demon Cloud family had been here before. They had carefully explored the ancient relic and should know that it was opened by Fang Chen. To open the ancient relic, we need a vast amount of spiritual qi. Let's try it together. The Grand Elder said. The 8 mansion masters nodded and the 9 of them stood side by side. Boom. 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 The 9 experts instantly released a powerful aura. Heaven and earth vital essence constantly surrounded them. Following the Grand Elder's shout, the 9 of them gathered their heaven and earth vital essence together and blasted it out. In the sky, the 9 terrifying vital essences quickly merged together and formed an even more terrifying vital essence ball. Under the control of the 9 people, this vital essence ball suddenly bombarded the Void Stone Gate in the distance. Dong. A terrifying explosive force spread out from the center of the Void Stone Gate, causing the entire ground to tremble. A terrifying vortex appeared in the spatial turbulence around the Void Stone Gate. The appearance of this vortex caused the entire land to be filled with a terrifying aura. A strong suction force suddenly appeared and absorbed all of the terrifying explosive force at lightning speed. While in front of everyone's eyes, the explosive force of the astral essence sphere didn't even cause a single spark. Instead, it was absorbed by the turbulent space flows. The faces of the 8 lords were filled with astonishment as they turned their heads toward the First Elder. Great Elder, this spatial turbulence is too terrifying. Even with your method, it's impossible to open it, the Sky Sword Mansion Master said in a deep voice. If I want to open the Void Stone door, I have to deal with the spatial turbulence first. But with our strength, how are we supposed to resolve the spatial turbulence? For a time, everyone fell into a helpless state. The people waiting in the wasteland below were also shocked. 9 big Heavenly Dipper realm powerhouses joined forces, unable to blast the space turbulence. The spatial turbulence was too terrifying. It seems like it's a little difficult to enter the ancient ruin, Hu Ming muttered to himself. Fang Chen shook his head slightly as he looked at the void stone door and said slowly, I think the first elder of the Demon Cloud clan should have a way. As expected, just as Fang Chen finished speaking, the eyes of the first elder of the Demon Cloud clan flickered. Then, he said in a deep voice, I originally thought that the 9 of us would be able to open the ancient ruin. I underestimated the power of the spatial turbulence. After the first elder finished speaking, he looked around at the 8 lords and said in a deep voice, Everyone, the Demon Cloud clan has a way to blast the spatial turbulence, but I need the cooperation of the 8 of you. Please, first elder. The ancient ruin was right in front of them, but they couldn't open it. The 8 lords were very anxious. As he said those words, the first elder took out a black ball in his hand. This black ball was filled with a violent aura. This is the demon-killing pearl. The Sky Sword Mansion master recognized the pearl and exclaimed in surprise. The other 7 patriarchs were dumbfounded too. They didn't expect the first elder of the Demon Cloud clan to even bring the demon-killing pearl with him. The demon-killing pearl was a divine item that contained a destructive aura. Once it was opened, any kind of energy could be dispelled. However, if the martial artist controlling the pearl wasn't strong enough, the demon-killing pearl wouldn't be able to be maintained for long. I'll open the demon-killing pearl and blast the spatial turbulence away. You guys will support the operation of the demon-killing pearl, the first elder said. All right. Everyone nodded. Then, without another word, the first elder activated the demon-killing pearl. Instantly, a terrifying black aura spread out. The demon-killing pearl flew out of his hand and shot into the spatial turbulence. Splash! The demon-killing pearl exuded a terrifying aura as it exploded in the spatial turbulence. Then, under everyone's gaze, the spatial turbulence actually started to spread. It's working. When the 8 prefecture lords saw this, they shouted out in unison. They then used all their strength to support the demon-killing pearls. In the blink of an eye, the demon-killing pearl completely dispersed the spatial turbulence. At this moment, the first elder shouted, Go in. Following the great elder's roar, the 200 people of the Demon Cloud family soared into the sky like a swarm of bees and entered the void stone gate. Splash! One by one, the martial artists all entered the spatial door. The lords of the 8 prefectures were full of smiles. 3 minutes later, the martial artists from the other 7 prefectures also entered the spatial door. However, just as the Sky Sword Mansion martial artists were about to enter, the demon-killing pearl suddenly shook. This slight movement caused the dispersing spatial turbulence to converge in an instant. Ah! Pitiful cries could be heard from the spatial turbulence. The Sky Sword Mansion lord's eyes were bloodshot, and his heart was filled with rage. The demon-killing pearl shook a little, causing the spatial turbulence to gather again. Many of the Sky Sword Mansion martial artists who were entering the spatial door died. Boom! Seeing this, the 8 prefecture lords increased their strength. The demon-killing pearl gradually stabilized. Continue. The Sky Sword Mansion lord shouted. Fang Chen and company took a deep breath and entered the spatial door. After everyone had entered, the demon-killing pearl shook even more violently. In the end, it directly shattered. The terrifying spatial turbulence once again enveloped the spatial door at a speed not visible to the naked eye. Whoosh! The 9 Heaven Dipper realm martial artists retracted their strength and heaved a sigh of relief. First Elder, are you sure they can come out after obtaining the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign's inheritance? A prefecture lord asked. The First Elder nodded and said, the relic appeared to find a suitable successor. As long as they obtain the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign's inheritance, they will definitely be able to come out. After the First Elder finished speaking, he turned and left. As for the 8 prefecture lords, they looked at each other. The Sky Sword Mansion lord's face was extremely dark, and his heart was filled with rage. Sky Sword, your Sky Sword Mansion is really unlucky. One of the prefecture lords grinned. That's right. So many people died before even entering the relic. What a pity. The Sky Sword Mansion sent 400 people into the relic this time. Only 100 people died. It's not a big deal. Among the 7 prefecture lords, Only a few who were on good terms with the Sky Sword Mansion Lord remained silent. The other prefecture lords immediately added insult to injury and mocked the Sky Sword Mansion Lord. "Mph, wait and see." The Sky Sword Mansion Lord snorted and glared at them. Then, he turned and left angrily. The appearance of the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign's relic had alarmed the Demon Cloud continent. However, only the upper echelons of the Demon Cloud continent knew about it. Ordinary martial artists continued to live peacefully. The 8 prefecture lords were all looking forward to obtaining the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign's inheritance. The Sky Devil Sword Sovereign was a peerless martial artist from 100,000 years ago. With a single Sky Devil Sword art, countless martial artists were terrified. 100,000 years had passed, but the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign's name was still terrifying. No one knew what the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign had left behind. Perhaps, there was a shocking secret. The Demon Cloud clan was very ambitious. They wanted to obtain all of the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign's inheritance. They even wanted the Sky Devil Sword that the Sky Devil Sword Sovereign had used in the past. Chapter 986. Inside the Relic. A strong wind blew on Fang Chen's face, causing him great pain. At this moment, Fang Chen was in a wasteland. Beside him were all Sky Sword Mansion's martial artists. "Fang Chen, what should we do now?" asked Hu Ming. Before entering, the Sky Sword Mansion Master had said that Fang Chen was the overall commander and that everyone had to listen to Fang Chen. That was why Hu Ming asked. "Let's figure out the situation of the relic first before we act," said Fang Chen. Everyone nodded. Fang Chen led everyone towards the end of the wasteland while secretly sending Little Mouse to scout the situation inside the relic. Half a month later, Little Mouse returned. Little Mouse was sent to scout because Little Mouse was extremely fast. Normal dangers would not be able to do anything to Little Mouse. After the Little Mouse came back, it quietly went into the special spatial ring. "Boss." Little Mouse communicated with Fang Chen mentally. "How is it? Did you scout it out?" asked Fang Chen. "Boss, the space inside the relic is not big. If I travel at full speed, I can go around it in about 10 days, said Little Mouse. Fang Chen nodded slowly. He had a preliminary understanding of the size of the relic. Little Mouse continued, "Boss, there are a total of 5 special places in the relic. I think the inheritance of the Sky Demon Sword Emperor should be in these 5 places. 5 places. A smile appeared on Fang Chen's face when he heard that. If he wanted to be one step ahead, he had to have enough information. Obviously, Little Mouse's information was enough to let Fang Chen and the others take the lead. After spending half a month, Fang Chen felt that it was worth it. Everyone discussed as they walked. At this moment, Fang Chen spoke. "Southeast. Let's move forward," ordered Fang Chen. All of a sudden, the group of people headed towards the southeast. The special place that Little Mouse mentioned was about 5,000 miles away from Fang Chen and the others. The ruins were very quiet, and they didn't encounter any demonic beasts along the way. Fang Chen and the others easily arrived at this special place. "This is the place?" Fang Chen asked Little Mouse. "Boss, there's a terrifying sword formation in this canyon," the Little Mouse said. Fang Chen nodded and led the group into the canyon. Sure enough, he saw the terrifying sword formation that Little Mouse had mentioned. In the middle of the canyon, there was a huge sword array. Within the array, there was a terrifying sword chi. What a powerful sword chi! Fang Chen could not help but sigh. Even a Heaven Dipper realm powerhouse could not arrange such a formation. Could it be that the Celestial Devil Sword Emperor personally arranged this? Fang Chen muttered to himself. Suddenly, Hu Ming said, "Fang Chen, there seems to be a huge sword in the array." Fang Chen was stunned and immediately looked over. He saw that there were 9 huge swords in the terrifying sword array. These huge swords were suspended in the sword array in the form of a ladder. The huge sword at the top was surrounded by black sword chi. It was extremely terrifying. Whoosh! Just as everyone was exclaiming, a stone tablet broke out of the ground outside the sword array. It instantly attracted everyone's attention. There were some small words on the stone tablet. "This sword array was created by me. It's specially used to select sword geniuses. Whoever can step on the 9th huge sword will receive a token. After reading the words on the stone tablet, everyone was overjoyed. The Celestial Devil Sword Emperor personally arranged this sword array to select sword geniuses. Ha ha ha, the Celestial Devil Sword Emperor's test. Everyone in the crowd laughed. However, just as everyone was ecstatic, a group of people suddenly walked into the canyon. "They're from the Raven Wind Mansion," said Hu Ming. He Kong was the leader of the Raven Wind Mansion. "Isn't this the Heavenly Sword Mansion?" He Kong sneered as he led them into the canyon. He looked at Fang Chen's group and sneered. The Raven Wind Mansion's people had discovered the stone tablet. Then their eyes began to burn. He Kong's eyes kept changing. In the end, he fixed his gaze on Fang Chen. "You're the leader of the Heavenly Sword Mansion?" asked He Kong. "That's right," said Fang Chen. "I'll give you 1 minute. Take your people and scram out of the canyon," said He Kong coldly. "Starting in a few days, this canyon will be my Raven Wind Mansion's territory." He Kong's words were filled with threat. He didn't give the Heavenly Sword Mansion any face. Hearing this, the Heavenly Sword Mansion's disciples were all infuriated and wanted to attack. However, they were stopped by Fang Chen. "The Raven Wind Mansion's people are so overbearing," said Fang Chen calmly. "If you know what's good for you, scram. Otherwise, you'll die," said He Kong coldly. He Kong's expression was incomparably gloomy. His aura revolved around him as he prepared to attack. However, when he saw the 8 scarlet maple leaves in Fang Chen's hand, his voice came to a sudden stop. "Why aren't you saying anything?" asked Fang Chen. "You. 8 scarlet maple leaves. With He Kong's strength, how could he possibly possess them?" Fang Chen's scarlet maple leaves had successfully intimidated He Kong and the others. After a long time, He Kong licked his dry lips and withdrew his killing intent. He revealed a trace of a smile and said, "Brother, the things within the ruins don't belong to anyone. Since we've both arrived here, it can be considered as fate. Why don't we explore together?" Hearing this, Fang Chen put away the scarlet maple leaf, turned his head, and stopped talking. As for expelling the Raven Wind Mansion's disciples, Fang Chen hadn't even thought about it. That was because the Heavenly Sword Mansion's overall strength was inferior to the Raven Wind Mansion's. Once an all-out battle broke out, the Heavenly Sword Mansion would definitely lose. "Let's go in and try," said Hu Ming. The Heavenly Sword Mansion's disciples all entered the sword formation. However, when they stepped onto the first sword, they were instantly sent flying. Their bodies were covered in blood as they let out miserable cries. "What's going on?" Fang Chen was puzzled. To the side, He Kong sneered. "They can't even get close to the first sword. Trash like them actually wants to get a share of the Celestial Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance," said He Kong. This sudden change made the Heavenly Sword Mansion's disciples not dare to rashly try. At this time, the Raven Wind Mansion's disciples entered the sword formation and began their attempts. Bang! Bang! Just like the Heavenly Sword Mansion's disciples, the Raven Wind Mansion's disciples were also sent flying. However, there was still a small portion of them that remained within the sword formation. The Raven Wind Mansion's disciples were delighted. Crash! The remaining dozen or so martial artists stepped onto the first giant sword. Immediately, a blinding light shot out from the first sword and enveloped them. Could it be that only geniuses of the sword Dao can step onto a sword? Fang Chen pondered to himself as he looked at them. Everyone else had been sent flying. Only these 10 or so disciples were standing on the first sword. And through Fang Chen's careful observation, they were all sword cultivators. "Cultivators of the way of the sword can try," Fang Chen ordered. Immediately, some of the Heavenly Sword Mansion's sword cultivators entered the sword formation and began attempting to climb the sword. In the blink of an eye, an hour passed. The Heavenly Sword Mansion's sword cultivators stepped onto the 5th sword and then stopped. What a powerful pressure! The pressure was too great. The Heavenly Sword Mansion's sword cultivators were no longer able to advance. As for the Raven Wind Mansion's sword cultivators, they had also stepped onto the 5th sword. "The Heavenly Sword Mansion's disciples are only SOSO, sneered He Kong. At this time, a black-clothed Raven-Wind Mansion's disciple stood out from the crowd and stepped onto the sixth sword. Good job, Hei Kong. Hei Kong was very happy to see Hei Kong step onto the sixth sword. Hei Kong wanted to try climbing the sword as well, but he wasn't a sword cultivator. Therefore, he could only place his hopes on Hei Kong. Hei Kong was the strongest sword cultivator in the Raven-Wind Mansion's ruins. His cultivation was also at the peak of the 9th level Mystic King realm. Hei Kong was the sword cultivator with the highest chance of stepping onto the 9th sword. At this time, a fierce battle broke out on the 5th sword. Scram, trash from the Sky Sword Mansion, the Raven-Wind Mansion's disciple said disdainfully. Raven-Wind Mansion, you've gone too far. Immediately, the martial artists of the two mansions began fighting on the 5th giant sword. Poochie. The Raven-Wind Mansion had many disciples. After a fierce battle, they killed several Sky Sword Mansion's disciples. Retreat. The other Sky Sword Mansion's disciples fled in panic and retreated from the sword formation. Raven-Wind Mansion, you've gone too far. Hu Ming's expression changed drastically. He wanted to attack. Chapter 987. Hei Kong's face was full of mockery. Black-Wind Mansion, you've gone too far. Hu Ming roared angrily. Hearing this, Fang Chen turned to look at Hei Kong. That's right. In the sword formation, the strong are respected. After speaking, Fang Chen stepped into the sword formation. The hidden star sword in his hand shone brightly. Buzz. The golden heart was beating rapidly, and circles of ripples surrounded Fang Chen. Fang Chen himself was a genius in the sword Dao. All these years, the golden heart had been constantly changing Fang Chen's sword principal potential. Splash. The god-level sword body was activated, and a vast sword aura instantly spread out. Under everyone's gaze, Fang Chen stepped onto the first giant sword easily. A test of sword principal potential. Fang Chen was slightly moved. Standing on the giant sword, he could feel the endless sword principal aura. Continue. Fang Chen's sword principal potential was unbelievably strong. He stepped onto the second giant sword. At this moment, the sword aura around him was extremely dense. The sword will of the 7th grade realm also spread out. In the blink of an eye, Fang Chen stepped onto the 4th giant sword. At this moment, Hei Kong, who was outside the sword formation, looked solemn, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. When Fang Chen stood on the 5th giant sword, his killing intent was overwhelming. He turned to look at Hei Kong outside the sword formation, and then said calmly, in the sword formation, the strong are respected. As soon as Fang Chen finished speaking, a vast aura burst out from the hidden star sword. The power of a second-level divine weapon was undoubtedly exposed at this moment. The third revolution radiant sword technique combined with the second-level divine weapon, the hidden star sword, made it impossible for an early 9th-level profound king realm martial artist to resist. Poochie. Every time a sword light flashed, a Black-Wind Mansion martial artist would be killed. After more than 10 sword lights flashed, all the Black-Wind Mansion martial artists on the 5th giant sword died. Damn it! Hei Kong was furious, but there was nothing he could do. Black Sword, kill him for me, Hei Kong said coldly. At this moment, Black Sword had already stepped onto the 7th giant sword. Kid, I hope you can step onto the 7th giant sword, Black Sword said sinisterly. I will. I hope you won't regret it when the time comes, Fang Chen said calmly. After a short pause on the 5th giant sword, Fang Chen withdrew the sword chi around him and continued to step forward. With a crash, Fang Chen stepped onto the 6th giant sword. Arriving at the 6th giant sword, Fang Chen felt a bit of pressure. As expected, the closer I get to the end, the greater the pressure. However, a mere 6th great sword is not enough to stop me, Fang Chen thought to himself. His current attainments in the sword principle were extremely high. The potential of Sword Dao was so strong that even some Heaven Dipper realm experts couldn't compare to it. Dong the Golden Heart was beating very fast, and ripples surrounded Fang Chen's body. Instantly, the pressure on him decreased. Under Black Sword's gaze, Fang Chen stepped onto the 7th great sword. Brat, the 7th giant sword is where you will die. Black Sword grinned. A long sword appeared in his hand. A cold light flashed, and killing intent filled the air. You stole my lines. Fang Chen was startled. Soon after, he said. He stepped into the sword array himself. Aside from passing the test of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor, he also wanted to kill the people of the Blackwind Mansion. Now, he could finally start a massacre. You're courting death. Black Sword roared furiously. Shortly after, the long sword in his hand changed constantly, and a tyrannical sword chi spread out. The sword intent of the fourth grade realm was integrated into the long sword. You dare to embarrass yourself with just a fourth grade true meaning? Seeing this, Fang Chen sneered. Seventh grade sword true meaning engulfed the entire seventh giant sword. Seventh grade. Seeing the sword intent around Fang Chen, Black Sword's heart was filled with shock. A mystic king realm martial artist was actually able to cultivate the sword intent to the seventh grade realm. After a moment of shock, Black Sword regained his composure and sneered, so what if you're at the seventh grade realm? In the end, you'll still die. As soon as Black Sword finished speaking, he suddenly displayed an exquisite sword technique. Third Revolution Radiance Sword Technique. Fang Chen displayed the Third Revolution Radiance Sword Technique, attacking with all his strength. Bang! 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 The Radiant Sword Chi was blocked by Black Sword's attack, and then scattered in the air. Insignificant skill. Black Sword laughed sinisterly, and his attacks became even fiercer. Void Meteor Annihilation. Fang Chen displayed the Void Meteor Annihilation. The surrounding space was instantly torn apart, and a tyrannical light shot out. Dong. The Void Meteor Annihilation caused quite a bit of trouble for Black Sword. Black Sword used all his strength, but in the end, he was still able to block the Void Meteor Annihilation. What other skills do you have? Show them, Black Sword said. With a thought, Fang Chen's peak Cyan rank soul instantly spread out, and he displayed the Secret Ice Sword. Whoosh! The Secret Ice Sword was a soul attack secret technique, specifically targeting a martial artist's soul. You're courting death. Seeing this, Black Sword roared, and placed his long sword in front of his chest to block the Secret Ice Sword. However, what Black Sword did not expect was that the Secret Ice Sword was too powerful, and its speed was too fast. He could not block it at all. Ah! When the Secret Ice Sword entered his mind, Black Sword let out a miserable cry. His soul was severely injured. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Fang Chen displayed the Void Meteor Annihilation, and heavily struck Black Sword's forehead. Crack! Black Sword's jaw shattered, and blood splattered all over the sky. His body softly fell onto the seventh giant sword. In the blink of an eye, it was corroded by the sword chi, and finally disappeared. Black Sword. Hei Kong's heart was filled with rage as he watched Black Sword get killed. Kid, I'm going to kill you. Black Sky roared in anger. Standing on the seventh giant sword, Fang Chen calmly looked at Black Sky and said, "The Great Blackwind Mansion doesn't even have the slightest bit of credibility." Hearing this, Black Sky became even more furious. Because he was the one who said those words. And at this moment, Fang Chen was using his words to slaughter the geniuses of the Blackwind Mansion. "Kid, I'll definitely make you die without a burial ground." Black Sky did his best to suppress the rage in his heart as he coldly said. Fang Chen no longer paid attention to Black Sky and stepped onto the eighth giant sword. Wang. Circulating his sword Dao aura, Fang Chen sat down cross-legged to comprehend the sword Dao. The pressure on the eighth giant sword was very great. Even Fang Chen was troubled for a long time. Outside the sword array, Hu Ming and the others were filled with excitement. Captain Fang is truly extraordinary. He actually stepped onto the eighth giant sword. He's only one step away from stepping onto the ninth giant sword. I wonder if Captain Fang will succeed. He'll definitely succeed. The Sky Sword Mansion's martial artists were all very excited. On the other hand, the Blackwind Mansion's martial artists were ashen-faced. All the sword cultivators had died within the sword array. Damn it! Black Sky said. Big Brother Black Sky, what should we do now? Someone asked. Big Brother Black Sky, should we start a war with the Sky Sword Mansion? Black Sky frowned and shook his head. We can't start a war with the Sky Sword Mansion for now. Once they started a war, even if they won, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. and their Black-Wind mansion still hadn't obtained the Celestial Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance. At that time, the other 6 manors would covetously eye them and hit them when they were down. Then, before this person could speak, Black Sky waved his hand to stop him. Perhaps this kid will be able to step onto the 9th giant sword and obtain the token. Black Sky sinisterly said, when he comes out, we'll kill him and take the token. Big brother Black Sky is wise. The Black-Wind mansion's people grinned. Within the sword array. After staying on the 8th giant sword for 6 hours, Fang Chen finally comprehended something. Boom! A deafening sound came from Fang Chen's body. In the next instant, Fang Chen felt his sword heart suddenly crumble. Then, under his gaze, the crumbling sword heart actually fused into his comprehension of the sword Dao. This, Fang Chen's heart was filled with excitement. The problem that had troubled him for such a long time was actually solved here. The sword heart is everywhere. Fang Chen's face was filled with joy. Although the 9 giant swords were called a test, it was actually a form of tempering. It was a form of tempering one's sword Dao. Stepping onto the 8th giant sword, Fang Chen felt a lot of pressure. After comprehending for a while, he understood. The crumbling sword heart fused into his comprehension of the sword Dao. Buzz, the first step of the advanced sword Dao quintessence, the path of a sword hero, had been taken. The sword chi around Fang Chen's body gradually changed. In an instant, the sword chi was filled with a lofty aura. Chapter 988. Fang Chen stood up. Sword Hero's chi revolved around him. The sword Dao is truly wondrous. Fang Chen said softly before stepping onto the 9th sword. Boom! When Fang Chen stepped onto the 9th sword, the terrifying sword formation instantly dissipated. The 9 swords were directly exposed in front of everyone. Crash! When the sword formation dissipated, the other 8 swords gradually floated up and revolved around Fang Chen. Buzz! Sword chi swooped down from the sky and enveloped Fang Chen's body. At this time, Fang Chen's comprehension was incomparably wondrous. He was immersed in the joy of comprehending the sword Dao. In an instant, the 9 giant swords fused together to form a single giant sword. This huge sword contained an extremely majestic sword chi. In the end, it kept shrinking and entered Fang Chen's mind. Dong. Fang Chen's entire appearance seemed to change. He suddenly opened his eyes. The instant he opened his eyes, the world changed color. The sword chi swooped down from the sky and condensed into a palm-sized token that fell into Fang Chen's hand. Is this the token that the Celestial Devil Sword Emperor spoke of? Fang Chen thought to himself. When Fang Chen held the token in his hand, he immediately understood the situation of the token. He also knew that this token was a part of the Celestial Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance. I've passed this trial. Fang Chen was overjoyed. He put away the token and walked over to the Heavenly Sword Mansion's people. Congratulations, Captain Fang. You've passed the trial. The Heavenly Sword Mansion's people all cupped their hands in congratulations. Fang Chen only smiled faintly. Just at this moment, the Black-Wind Mansion's cultivators walked over in an aggressive manner. Hei Kong was dressed in black. His face was filled with a sinister aura. Brat, hand over the token and I can spare your life, said Hei Kong coldly. Seeing Fang Chen's token, Hei Kong's heart was incomparably tempted. No matter what, he had to obtain the token. Dream on. Captain Fang worked so hard to obtain this medallion. How could he possibly hand it over to someone else? Shouted the Heavenly Sword Mansion's martial artist. Fang Chen was communicating with Little Mouse. Boss, attack with all your might. With Scarlet Maple Leaf and me, we should be able to deal with this person, Little Mouse said after some calculations. After receiving the Little Mouse's reply, Fang Chen was no longer afraid. Looking at Hei Kong, Fang Chen coldly said, Are you sure you want to start a war with my Sky Sword Mansion? Hei Kong grinned when he heard that. There's no need to start a war. We're both leaders, so why don't we have a battle? If I lose, I'll turn around and leave. If I win, you'll give me the command medallion. How about it? All right, Fang Chen said. Hei Kong was a little surprised that Fang Chen agreed so easily. I'd like to see what kind of tricks you can come up with. Hei Kong sneered. Void Blackstar Kick. He Kong took the lead and directly used his ultimate skill, Void Blackstar Kick. Suddenly, an afterimage swept across the sky. Countless tyrannical leg shadows swooped down, trying to suppress Fang Chen. Void Meteorite Annihilation. Fang Chen didn't hesitate to use the Void Meteorite Annihilation. Child's play. He Kong growled, and the sky full of leg shadows heavily bombarded the Void Meteorite Annihilation, instantly shattering Fang Chen's attack. Then, He Kong rushed towards Fang Chen with a powerful attack. Scarlet Maple Leaf. Fang Chen took out 3 scarlet maple leaves at once and threw them out. He Kong had long been on guard against Fang Chen's scarlet maple leaves. Sure enough, the latter's trump card was the scarlet maple leaf. You're courting death. He Kong growled, and the sky full of leg shadows swooped down, hitting the scarlet maple leaf. The vital essence within the maple leaf instantly erupted. The terrifying vital essence wreaked havoc on the earth. Many warriors in the canyon quickly retreated, afraid of being touched by the vital essence. Although He Kong used the Void Blackstar Kick to trigger the vital essence within the scarlet maple leaf to detonate, he was still affected by the terrifying vital essence. Bang! His body flew out in an instant, and with the help of the recoil, he used the Void Blackstar Kick again. Boy, this time you're dead for sure. He Kong said coldly. However, it was at this moment. Little Mouse appeared beside Fang Chen. Roar! A terrifying beast roar resounded through the sky. The next moment, the wild purple halo turned into a shadow of a purple mouse that was dozens of feet tall. It was the innate ability of the godly mouse of heaven devouring. Crash! A terrifying attractive force shrouded He Kong. What's this? He Kong struggled and roared loudly. However, he couldn't break free. Everyone in the canyon was completely shocked. This terrifying attractive force made their hearts tremble, as if a Heavenstar Realm expert was attacking. Hiss! Little Mouse's innate super ability was getting stronger. With Fang Chen's cooperation, He Kong was swallowed by Little Mouse without any resistance. Crack! Even a half-step Heavenstar Realm expert was still bitten by Little Mouse. Little Mouse consumed a lot of energy to use its innate super ability this time, and its face was a little pale. However, after swallowing He Kong, its complexion eased a lot. Silence. In the canyon, there was a dead silence. The half-step Heavenstar Realm expert, He Kong, was dead in the blink of an eye, and not even his bones were left. All the warriors in the Black Wind Mansion looked at Fang Chen in fear. Demon, he's a demon. No one knew who shouted, but the numerous martial practitioners of the Black Wind Mansion all retreated and fled hastily. Fang Chen, do you want to chase? Hu Ming asked. Don't chase a cornered enemy. Fang Chen put away the hidden star sword and said slowly. Everyone in the Sky Sword Mansion was in awe of Fang Chen. The news of He Kong's death spread out in an instant. He Kong was the pillar of the Black Wind Mansion, and after his death, the Black Wind Mansion became a pile of loose sand. After the other 6 manors heard the news, they were all thinking about their own plans. Although Fang Chen had a mysterious token in his hand, his strength was very strong, and even the half-step Heavenstar Realm He Kong was not his opponent. If these people wanted to rob him, they had to weigh their own strength. On a mountain peak in the relic. This was one of the 5 special places that Little Mouse found. There were many warriors standing on the mountain peak. There was a sword formation on the mountain peak. Buzz! Inside the sword formation, there was a wild sword chi. After a long time, a figure walked out of the sword formation. Lian Heng, how was it? A half-step Heavenstar Realm expert asked. With a smile on his face, Mo Yun Lian Heng raised his hand. It was a token. Congratulations, young Master Lian Heng, for getting a token. The warriors of the Demon Cloud family congratulated him. Did anything happen in the relic recently? Mo Yun Lian Heng kept the token and asked. Young Master Lian Heng, something happened recently. One of the half-step Heavenstar Realm warriors said slowly. Black Wind Mansion and Skysword Mansion met, and He Kong wanted to fight for the Skysword Mansion's token, but he was killed by a warrior from the Skysword Mansion called Fang Chen. Yes, He Kong was killed. Mo Yun Lian Heng was a little surprised. Do you know Fang Chen's cultivation? Mo Yun Lianheng continued to ask. It is said that Fang Chen is a 1 in a million sword genius. His cultivation is only at the 5th level of the Profound King realm, but he can fight against a 9th level Profound King. However, he is not the only one who killed the half-step Heavenstar realm He Kong. According to the people of the Black Wind Mansion, Fang Chen has a spiritual pet, which is from the rat race. It has a very powerful innate ability, and it can swallow He Kong. 5th level Profound King realm, fighting against a 9th level Profound King, and he has such a powerful spiritual pet. Mo Yun Lianheng's eyes flickered when he heard about Fang Chen. Young Master Lianheng, although Fang Chen is powerful, he has no chance of winning against our Demon Cloud family. Do you want to get his token? Mo Yun Lianheng shook his head and said, no need. Since he is a sword genius, he will definitely go to other places. I will make my move after he gets a few more tokens. Great, young Master Lianheng is using Fang Chen to collect tokens for our Demon Cloud family. Mo Yun Lianheng did not say anything else. However, his eyes were brimming with fighting spirit, and he was slightly interested in Fang Chen. I hope you can fight with me. Mo Yun Lianheng thought in his heart. In the relic, the people of the 8 mansions and the Demon Cloud family were all looking for the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance. Chapter 989. Fang Chen, it's too obvious if we move together, Hu Ming suddenly said. Fang Chen turned to look at Hu Ming. The latter continued, you go and collect tokens. I'll lead the others to find other opportunities. This way, we can attract the attention of the other mansions. Hearing this, Fang Chen thought for a moment and nodded. Okay, be careful, Fang Chen reminded them. Then, everyone separated. With the cultivation of the Sky Sword Mansion's people, unless they were fighting with other mansions, they were not afraid of anyone. As for Fang Chen, he took advantage of this opportunity to search for other tokens. Boss, the second closest special place is 3,000 miles away from us. Little Mouse jumped on Fang Chen's shoulder and said. Under the guidance of Little Mouse, Fang Chen moved forward quickly. It did not take long for Fang Chen to arrive. However, to Fang Chen's surprise, there was actually someone who had arrived before them. It's the Bloodmark Mansion, Fang Chen said. The Bloodmark Mansion's people were best at the blood escape technique. In terms of escaping, no one in the 8 mansions of the Demon Cloud state could compare to the Bloodmark Mansion. It was said that the Bloodmark Mansion's martial artists all cultivated a very advanced blood escape technique. Therefore, in the ruins, the other mansions were not willing to fight the Bloodmark Mansion head-on. This was because once they used the blood escape technique, there was no way to stop them from escaping. Whoosh! Using the true meaning of space and time, Fang Chen hid in the void and kept approaching the Bloodmark Mansion's martial artists. Fang Chen did not act rashly. He had been waiting for an opportunity in the dark. This was a wasteland. In the middle of the wasteland, there was a palace. Beside the palace, there was a stone tablet that broke out of the ground. The words on the stone tablet were exactly the same as what they had seen in the canyon. Pass the palace's test and you will be able to obtain a token. I wonder what the palace's test is, Fang Chen said to himself. At this moment, the people of the Bloodmark Mansion had surrounded the palace in the wasteland. Open your eyes for me. Those who dare to approach the palace will be killed without mercy. A half-step Heaven Realm martial artist said coldly. The other warriors nodded in agreement. Then, they released their auras and surrounded the palace. Fang Chen had been secretly waiting for an opportunity. However, there were several half-step Heaven Realm martial artists in the Bloodmark Mansion. If it was a one-on-one fight, he could still handle it. However, with so many people, even if he and the Little Mouse worked together, there was nothing they could do. Bang! While Fang Chen was immersed in his thoughts, a figure suddenly dashed out from the palace. His face was pale and there was a trace of blood on his body. He was in a very sorry state. Xuelian, how is it? A half-step Heavenly Dipper Realm martial artist, seeing Snow Lotus appear, hurriedly asked. The warrior called Xuelian was the only sword cultivator with heaven-defying potential who had entered the Bloodmark Mansion. Only sword cultivators could participate in the palace's test. Therefore, Xuelian was the hope of the Bloodmark Mansion. Hearing this, Xuelian shook his head slightly. His face was filled with pain. Seeing this, the other half-step Heaven Realm martial artists turned pale. What is in this palace that even Xuelian can't pass? What should we do now? If Xuelian can't pass, it's even more impossible for the rest of our Bloodmark mansion. There's another way. Hearing this, everyone looked at the half-step Heaven Realm martial artist. This place was discovered by our Bloodmark mansion. We can't give it to other manors. However, we can find some sword Dao geniuses from other manors to work for our Bloodmark mansion. The man smiled sinisterly. You mean, hearing this, the others instantly understood. The man nodded and said, it's time for our Bloodmark mansion's secret technique to be put to use. People from other manors might not have more potential than Xuelian. Someone raised a question. The man chuckled and said, recently, Fang Chen from the Sky Sword Mansion has been the talk of the town. It's said that his cultivation isn't high and he's the best target. Hearing the two words Fang Chen, the other half-step Heaven Realm martial artists were moved. They had also heard of Fang Chen's deeds. With 3 scarlet maple leaves and his spirit pet, he killed He Kong, a half-step Heaven Realm martial artist. Xuelian will wait here. We half-step Heaven Realm martial artists will attack together. No matter how powerful that Fang Chen is, he won't be afraid. The man continued. After a while, everyone from the Bloodmark mansion reached an agreement. Then, the half-step Heaven Realm martial artists left one after another. Fang Chen, who had been hiding in the dark, clearly heard the Bloodmark mansion's plan. Looking at the half-step Heaven Realm martial artists leaving, Fang Chen snorted coldly. The people from the Bloodmark mansion were too vicious. They actually tried to soul control him. Fortunately, he had the space-time true meaning and was hiding in the surroundings. He heard their conversation. Half-step Heaven Realm martial artists left. Here's my chance. Fang Chen was delighted and began to think of countermeasures. After a while, Fang Chen came up with a countermeasure. Immediately, Fang Chen used the space-time true meaning to distance himself from the Bloodmark mansion. Then, his figure suddenly appeared, and the star-hidden sword was suddenly brandished. Suddenly, the radiant sword light shot out. Dawn caught off guard, the radiant sword light instantly bombarded the Bloodmark mansion's crowd. Damn it, how dare you sneak attack our Bloodmark mansion? Xuelian was the first to discover it and was furious. At this moment, Fang Chen's figure quickly retreated and pretended to escape. Kill him for me. Fang Chen's body was shrouded in sword hero chi. Xuelian and the others did not see Fang Chen's face clearly. Seeing Fang Chen escape, they continued to pursue. Fang Chen pretended to escape. When he saw everyone chasing him, he used the space-time true meaning and instantly hid in the void. The Bloodmark mansion's people were still chasing Fang Chen. Only a small number of cultivators were left behind to guard the palace. Fang Chen, who was hiding in the void, quickly returned and came to the front of the palace. Then, he entered the palace without anyone noticing. Without a half-step Heaven Realm cultivator guarding, these ordinary cultivators could not discover Fang Chen at all. While after entering the palace, Fang Chen found out the content of the test. Withstand the impact of a Heaven Realm sword chi to pass the test. Seeing this scene, Fang Chen could not help but be speechless. A Heaven Realm sword chi impact. No wonder Xuelian was in a sorry state when he escaped. At this time, outside the palace, led by Xuelian, many Bloodmark mansion's cultivators hurried back. Is the palace okay? Xuelian asked. They had chased for a long time and did not find any trace of the enemy. Suddenly, they realized that something was wrong and hurried back. It's fine. Hearing this, Xuelian breathed a sigh of relief. However, he was very surprised. Why did that cultivator escape after attacking? In the end, Xuelian thought that the person must be afraid of the Bloodmark mansion's people, so he escaped. Inside the palace, the test began. First, it was a first-level profound King Realm sword chi. While Fang Chen stood in the middle of the palace, and suddenly, a tyrannical sword chi emerged from the walls around him. Puchithi's sword chi contained majestic power and blasted towards Fang Chen from all directions. The god-level sword body was directly activated, and sword intent surrounded him. Bang bang bang. The first level profound King Realm Sword Chi was easily blocked by Fang Chen. Next, the Sword Chi level increased. Second level profound King Realm, third level, fourth level. Fang Chen could easily block the Sword Chi until it reached the ninth level profound King Realm. Dong, there was a tremor in the palace. Immediately, the Sword Chi level increased to the half-step Heaven Realm. At this time, the Sword Chi was like a rainbow, and its momentum shook the sky. Fang Chen could feel the tyrannical pressure. Is this the half-step Heaven Realm Sword Chi? This Sword Chi completely overpowered his own Sword Chi. Bang! The tyrannical Sword Chi shot towards Fang Chen in an instant. The Sword Will of the 7th level collapsed after a slight resistance. The rest of the Sword Chi bombarded Fang Chen's body. Pucci Fang Chen's clothes were tattered, and his physical defense was completely activated. In the end, he still managed to block the Sword Chi. However, Fang Chen's body was a little battered. The half-step Heaven Realm Sword Chi is already so powerful. Won't the Heaven Realm Sword Chi be even stronger? Fang Chen was a little unconfident and thought to himself. In an instant, the Sword Chi level increased. The walls of the palace were visibly changing. On the walls, small holes appeared one after another. There were many small holes, and each hole was only the size of a thumb. Buzz. Chapter 990. The palace was filled with Sword Dao aura. Fang Chen's Sword Hero aura was activated and automatically surrounded his body to protect him. It was also at this time, the Heavenly Dipper Realm level Sword Chi shot out from many small holes. Swoosh. Every Sword Chi was extremely fierce and domineering. So strong. The first Sword Chi made Fang Chen feel a little helpless. Crack. When the Heaven Star Border Realm Sword Chi hit Fang Chen's body, it instantly shattered his defense. The Sword Hero aura also decreased a lot. Bang. The Sword Chi shattered the defense of the sword body and its power weakened a little. Finally, it hit him heavily. The Sword Chi left a bloody mark on his body. Damn it. Fang Chen couldn't help but curse. The Heaven Star Border Realm Sword Chi was too powerful. Rumble. However, after the first Sword Chi dissipated, the following Sword Chi made Fang Chen's scalp tingle. Dense and terrifying Sword Chi shot out from the numerous small holes. Every Sword Chi carried a vast amount of power and rushed towards Fang Chen. Buzz. Fang Chen couldn't care less. He activated the Sword Hero aura to the extreme to protect his body. Dong. At this moment, the Golden Heart also had a slight change. In an instant, the dense Sword Chi stabbed towards Fang Chen. Originally, Fang Chen was ready to fight a bloody battle. However, when the Sword Chi rushed towards him, the Golden Heart had a strange change. Crash. Golden ripples appeared around the Golden Heart. These golden ripples quickly spread to Fang Chen's body and appeared on the surface of his skin. When the Heaven Star Border Realm Sword Chi stabbed Fang Chen's skin, it was instantly wrapped by these golden ripples and then absorbed into the Golden Heart. Hiss. After the Golden Heart absorbed these Sword Chi, it became more active. At the same time, Fang Chen felt that the sword intent in his mind seemed to be strengthening. His understanding of the Sword Dao was also improving. The Golden Heart is transforming. The Golden Heart was slowly changing Fang Chen's body. Every metamorphosis would bring benefits to Fang Chen. And now, at such a critical moment, the Golden Heart was actually transforming. Fang Chen's face was filled with ecstasy. He immediately withdrew the Sword Hero's Chi and took the initiative to welcome the Heaven Gang Realm's Sword Chi that shot out from the numerous small holes. Bang bang bang, tens of thousands of Sword Chi pierced towards Fang Chen before being absorbed by the Golden Heart. Time passed by slowly. After about an hour, the small holes in the walls of the palace finally closed. This also meant that Fang Chen had succeeded in his test. At this moment, the Golden Heart had absorbed enough Sword Chi and was constantly emitting a terrifying power. While above the palace, a streak of Sword Chi that looked like starlight condensed into a token and fell into Fang Chen's hand. The word 3 was written on the badge. It should be the third token, said Fang Chen. The token he obtained in the canyon was the 5th token. I didn't expect to get the token so easily. Fang Chen grinned. Putting away the token, Fang Chen prepared to leave. Outside the palace, Xuelian, and the others had been guarding. The half-step heaven realm cultivators of the Bloodmark Mansion had also returned. "How was it?" asked Xuelian. "We didn't find Fang Chen, but we did control a few good sword Dao geniuses." Hearing this, Xuelian looked over. The half-step heaven realm cultivators brought back a total of 5 sword Dao geniuses. "Let them try," Xuelian asked. The half-step heaven realm cultivators nodded and then controlled the 5 sword Dao geniuses to enter the palace. However, just as the palace door opened, a stream of light suddenly shot out. Immediately afterward, the stream of light merged into the void. The others did not react, but the half-step heaven realm cultivators' faces changed drastically. "Xuelian, did anyone come here while we were away?" "A cultivator attacked us and then escaped," Xuelian said. "Damn it, he entered the palace." The half-step heaven realm cultivators were furious. Immediately, they joined forces and immediately forced Fang Chen to reveal his true body. "It's you." Seeing Fang Chen, the Bloodmark Mansion cultivators were furious. "Escape." Fang Chen's first reaction was to escape. The Bloodmark Mansion was very strong, and he could not fight against them alone. Su He used the space-time true intent and quickly fled. "Chase!" The Bloodmark Mansion cultivators shouted. Several half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists chased after Fang Chen. The Bloodmark Mansion cultivators cultivated the blood escape technique, so they were very sensitive to space-type true intents. Although they could not determine Fang Chen's exact location, they could determine his approximate location. Bang! Several experts attacked the void from time to time, forcing Fang Chen to constantly change Fang Chen to prevent Fang Chen from escaping. As expected of the Bloodmark Mansion's experts, Fang Chen could not help but sigh. The Bloodmark Mansion's cultivators were really good at tracking. If they were cultivators from other mansions, they would have been shaken off by him. As time passed, the half-step Heaven Realm cultivators from the Bloodmark Mansion continued to chase after Fang Chen. Whoosh! Seeing that they were about to catch up, Fang Chen suddenly waved his hand, and a scarlet maple leaf shot out and exploded. Rumble! The scarlet maple leaf exploded, and the power was very strong. The Bloodmark Mansion cultivators also hurriedly dodged. "Fang Chen, you can't escape," someone shouted. They dodged in time, and the scarlet maple leaf did not affect them too much. They continued to chase. "Boss, let me do it." When Fang Chen used the second scarlet maple leaf, they hurriedly dodged. The little mouse instantly appeared and used its innate ability. Roar! A terrifying beast roar resounded through the sky. Those who were hurriedly dodging the scarlet maple leaf suddenly felt a terrifying suction force. Spread out. The 5 of them were experienced and instantly spread out. However, a certain half-step Heaven Realm cultivator dodged a little too late. First, he was hit by the scarlet maple leaf's terrifying vital essence, and then he was enveloped by the suction force. Crash! The little mouse's innate ability was too heaven-defying. This person was injured and could not resist at all. No! With a miserable scream, he was instantly sucked into the little mouse's mouth and died. Run! After doing all this, the little mouse jumped onto Fang Chen's shoulder and shouted. Fang Chen did not care too much. He pushed the space-time true intent to the extreme, and his figure instantly disappeared. The explosive force of the scarlet maple leaf dissipated, and their faces turned pale as they looked in the direction Fang Chen escaped. Old 5 is dead. Avenge Old 5 at all costs. The other half-step Heaven Realm cultivators were completely in a state of madness. They did not even hesitate to use the blood escape technique to chase after Fang Chen. The blood escape technique of the Bloodmark Mansion was heaven-defying. In a short while, they caught up with Fang Chen. "Fang Chen, I will let you die without a burial place," one of them roared. The others instantly blocked Fang Chen's path. Fang Chen's face was solemn. He did not have any confidence to escape being blocked by half-step Heaven Realm cultivators. Kill! The few cultivators did not give Fang Chen any chance and directly launched their fiercest attacks. Third Revolution Radiant Sword Art, Void Meteorite Annihilation, Ice Secret Sword. Fang Chen consecutively used 3 unique skills. The rank 2 divine weapon, hidden star sword, was activated to the extreme. Bang! Bang! The attacks of the few cultivators were too powerful and instantly shattered Fang Chen's attack. Dong! The earth was trembling and the air was in disorder. Fang Chen's body flew out directly, spitting blood and looking pale. Fang Chen was no match for the half-step Heaven Realm cultivators when they joined forces. I can't fight them head-on. Fang Chen quickly thought of a way to escape. Kill. The half-step Heaven Realm cultivators' eyes were scarlet and full of killing intent. They once again launched a fierce attack towards Fang Chen. Die. The attacks of the few cultivators were rapidly approaching Fang Chen. Just as Fang Chen was feeling helpless, a voice suddenly rang out. Suddenly, a beast roar resounded through the sky. Then, a terrifying aura instantly swept across the earth. What's going on? The attacks of the half-step Heaven Realm cultivators were directly blocked by this terrifying aura and then collapsed. Chapter 991. A horrifying aura instantly filled the air. The few half-step Heaven Star Border Realm martial artists of the Bloodmark Mansion were shaken to the core. Their bodies were trembling and their hearts were palpitating. They stopped walking towards Fang Chen. Their eyes were filled with fear as they turned their heads to look. Behind them, there was a huge monster. Roar. A horrifying roar of a beast was heard again. Fang Chen's heart shuddered when he saw the enormous creature. Little mouse, the aura around the little mouse made Fang Chen's heart palpitate. What kind of power is this? Just as Fang Chen was screaming, the huge purple rat shadow behind the little mouse opened its bloody mouth. This time, the little mouse did not use its innate ability. Instead, it used another method. Whoosh! The purple rat shadow's bloody mouth suddenly shot out a few rays of horrifying purple light. After this ray of light shot out, it directly blasted several half-step Heavenly Dipper Realm martial artists with the momentum of a thunderbolt. Poochie. No matter how hard the Bloodmark Mansion's martial artists tried to resist, it was useless. This horrifying purple light was too horrifying. Even a Heaven Star Border Realm martial artist would not be able to resist its penetrating power. The purple light penetrated the first half-step Heaven Star Border Realm martial artist's body. The latter fell to the ground unwillingly and his soul dissipated. From this point, it was enough to see how powerful this horrifying purple light was. Run! I don't know who screamed, and the other half-step Heavenly Dipper Realm martial artists scattered and fled. However, this horrifying purple light directly locked onto them. Whoosh! The purple light was extremely fast. Even Fang Chen, who was far away, could feel his heart palpitating from the power contained within it. Poochie. The purple light penetrated another martial artist's body. Without any hesitation, the latter's soul dissipated. Next, there was no suspense. The purple light kept reaping the lives of the half-step Heaven Star Border Realm martial artists. Finally, after penetrating the last half-step Heaven Star Border Realm martial artist's body, the purple light exploded and instantly destroyed the martial artist's body. Then, the purple light dissipated into the void. The sudden change caused Fang Chen's heart to tremble. Fang Chen had always thought that the little mouse's innate ability was its strongest attack. However, at this moment, Fang Chen's understanding was completely overturned. Little mouse's means could actually easily kill a half-step Heaven Realm martial artist. It was too terrifying. Fang Chen looked at Little Mouse with a burning gaze. However, at this moment, the purple rat shadow behind the little mouse suddenly shattered. The majestic purple halo completely merged into the little mouse's body. The latter's aura immediately weakened, and his face turned pale. Little mouse, you. Fang Chen hurried to the little mouse's side and found that the latter was on the verge of death. What's the matter? Fang Chen asked hurriedly. Little Mouse's eyes revealed a trace of a smile. He looked at Fang Chen and said, "Boss, it's good that you're fine. You used a forbidden technique?" Fang Chen asked hurriedly. Little Mouse shook his head and then lay on the ground with difficulty. He said slowly, "Boss, do you know what my innate ability is? Isn't it just devouring?" Fang Chen asked. "Devouring is just one of my innate abilities," Little Mouse said. Fang Chen's heart shuddered upon hearing this. Could it be that Little Mouse had two innate abilities? Fang Chen knew that Little Mouse often used this innate ability called devouring. This innate ability, when cultivated to the extreme, could devour all things. Now, Little Mouse actually said that devouring was just one of its innate abilities. What you just used was also your innate ability? Fang Chen asked. Little Mouse nodded. That's right. I have two innate abilities. The first is devouring, and the second is the one I just used. It's called extreme piercing. Fang Chen was filled with shock. Extreme piercing. No wonder that terrifying purple light was able to ignore the defenses of a half-step heaven realm martial artist and directly penetrate his body. My innate ability ignores all defenses. It can penetrate a martial artist's body and shatter their soul. But, Little Mouse said. But what? Fang Chen asked. But with my current strength, I can't use extreme piercing. When I saw that boss was in danger, I used it in a moment of desperation. At this point, Little Mouse's aura became even weaker. It was in danger of dying at any moment. Fang Chen hugged Little Mouse's body. He was incomparably anxious. In order to save him, Little Mouse had fallen into such a situation. No matter what, he had to save Little Mouse. I will definitely save you, Fang Chen said in a deep voice. He was very anxious. Little Mouse's eyes were rolling around as if it was about to close. Boss, I'm too injured. I'm going to fall into a deep sleep. The 9 turns life and death grass, this kind of spiritual herb can save me. After the little rat finished his last sentence, he directly fell into a coma. Fang Chen checked Little Mouse's injuries and found that it was only in a deep sleep. It wasn't dead. Fang Chen heaved a sigh of relief. He then muttered the 9 turns life and death grass in his heart. No matter what, I have to get the 9 turns life and death grass. However, Fang Chen didn't know where the 9 turns life and death grass was. I have to leave the ruins as soon as possible and think of a way. Fang Chen muttered to himself. After pondering the matter for a moment, Shen cleaned up the battlefield and took away the spatial rings of the other cultivators. After checking their interspatial rings, Fang Chen found that except for the purple crystal stones, the other things in their interspatial rings were not suitable for him. They are really poor. Half-step heaven realm martial artists only have so many purple crystal stones. Fang Chen looked at the 5 million purple crystal stones in the interspatial rings and curled his lips. Then, he put the purple crystal stones into his bag and continued to move forward. Before Little Mouse fell asleep, it had already transmitted the addresses of 5 special places into his mind. Now, he had only obtained 2 tokens. After Fang Chen confirmed his target, he rushed toward the 3rd special place. In front of the Wasteland Palace, everyone in the Bloodmark Mansion was waiting for the return of the half-step heaven realm martial artist who was chasing Fang Chen. However, after waiting for a long time, there was no sign of him. This made everyone in the Bloodmark Mansion very anxious. What's going on? Why isn't he back yet? Someone asked. Why don't we go look for him? Shuelian said. Then, Shuelian sent a martial artist to look for him. After a while, the martial artist returned and brought back a piece of news that shocked the Bloodmark Mansion. What did you say? They are all dead. Shuelian cried out. The martial artist nodded heavily and said carefully with a solemn face, Senior Brother Shuelian, they are all dead. Today was a very angry day for the Bloodmark Mansion. All the half-step heaven realm martial artists who entered the ruins were all dead. They were filled with hatred in their hearts. In the end, they vented all their anger on Fang Chen. Search with all your strength. As long as there are clues about Fang Chen, report back immediately. Shuelian's eyes were filled with killing intent as he ordered coldly. Yes. Everyone in the Bloodmark Mansion had even forgotten the purpose of this trip and began to search for Fang Chen with all their strength. In their hearts, the only goal was revenge. The ancient ruins of the Demon Sword Emperor was not big. After such a long struggle, Mo Yun Lianheng finally obtained 3 tokens. At this time, everyone in the Mo Yun family gathered in a mountain range. The depths of the mountain range were filled with majestic sword qi. If one looked carefully, they would find that the sword qi contained traces of demonic qi. This was the unique sword qi of the Demon Sword Emperor. The inheritance of the Demon Sword Emperor must be here. But to open it, we must gather all 5 tokens. Mo Yun Lianheng stood in the mountain range and said faintly, "Young Master Lianheng, it is said that Fang Chen of the Sky Sword Mansion obtained 2 tokens and asked me to snatch them back." A half-step Heaven Realm martial artist said. Mo Yun Lianheng nodded and said, "Come back quickly after snatching the tokens." "Young Master Lianheng, don't worry. The inheritance of the Demon Sword Emperor will definitely belong to our Mo Yun family. The 8 mansions will not be able to compete with us." After saying that, the martial artist's figure flashed and disappeared instantly. However, after a while, a martial artist reported back. Chapter 992. A few days later, Fang Chen came to the 3rd strange place. However, it was empty here, and the stone tablet on the ground was still there. However, the token was no longer there. Someone took it away. Fang Chen looked ahead, puzzled. After a careful inspection and confirming that the token was taken away, Fang Chen did not stay any longer and prepared to leave. However, at this moment, a roar sounded, followed by the appearance of a figure. Half-step to Heaven Star Border Realm. Fang Chen instantly discovered this person's cultivation. His entire body exuded a terrifying aura. He was dressed in black, and there was a white cloud on his collar. Someone from the Mo Yun family. Only someone from the Mo Yun family would have such a beautiful appearance. "Boy, you have good taste, but I am from the Mo Yun family. If you know what's good for you, quickly hand over the token." Mo Yunfu sneered. Mo Yunfu was a genius martial artist recruited from the outside by the Mo Yun family and was given the surname Mo Yun. After a series of inquiries, he finally confirmed Fang Chen's whereabouts and directly chased after him. "Token." Fang Chen said calmly. "Boy, our young master Lianheng found the place of inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor and needs 5 tokens to open it. So, take out the 2 tokens on you." Mo Yunfu sneered. In his opinion, Fang Chen was very weak. "My brother risked his life to protect the token for me. You think you can take it away just because you want it?" Fang Chen's eyes were cold, and spiritual energy surged around his body. "So, you want the token, but not your life?" Mo Yunfu asked. "You want to kill me? I'm afraid you don't have the ability." As soon as Fang Chen's voice fell, he suddenly took the initiative to attack. Although Fang Chen was no match for a half-step to Heaven Star Border Realm martial artist, he was not afraid. 3 revolutions radiant sword technique was displayed immediately. The majestic radiant sword light was suspended in the sky, and then under Fang Chen's control, it pierced towards Mo Yunfu. Insignificant skill. Mo Yunfu waved his hand, and countless large handprints appeared in the sky, and then these handprints directly wrapped around the radiant sword light. Crack 2 of the great palm imprints were shattered, while the holy sword radiance was directly shattered by the remaining great palm imprints. After shattering the radiant sword light, these giant handprints continued to charge towards Fang Chen. Pucha, the power of the level 2 divine weapon, the hidden star sword, completely erupted. Bang bang bang, the hidden star sword chopped down on the great palm print and instantly shattered it. Seeing this scene, Mo Yunfu was also a little surprised. Then, his eyes lit up as he looked at the star-concealing sword in Fang Chen's hand. A level 2 divine weapon, how interesting. Mo Yunfu's eyes shone with greed. A rank 2 divine weapon was nothing to the Devil Cloud clan. However, martial artists like him who had been bestowed with the surname did not have the opportunity to obtain a level 2 divine weapon. And this was an opportunity. A level 2 divine weapon, I like it. After saying that, Mo Yunfu waved his palm again. The aura around him was raised to the extreme as he suddenly launched his strongest attack. In the sky, giant handprints circled around continuously. Every single handprint contained a tremendous amount of power. Void Meteor Annihilation. Fang Chen displayed the Void Meteor Annihilation, bombarding the giant handprints that filled the sky. Crack. The void was torn apart and instantly swallowed many of the giant handprints. However, the remaining giant handprints avoided the Void Meteor Annihilation and directly charged towards Fang Chen. "Kid, your attack is ineffective against me." Mo Yunfu laughed sinisterly. Rumble. The giant handprints swooped down with a powerful force. Fang Chen's divine sword body was activated to the extreme, and the true meaning of space and time was displayed. Crash! His body disappeared in an instant, cleverly avoiding the attack of the giant handprints. True meaning of space. Seeing that Fang Chen possessed the true meaning of space, the killing intent in Mo Yunfu's eyes intensified. Great Void Handprint. Mo Yunfu's killing intent surged as he roared loudly. The Great Void Handprint was his unique skill. His wrist shook, and the aura around him revolved. The giant handprints that filled the sky revolved around him and finally merged into his palm. Go to hell! Mo Yunfu growled and stretched out his hand. A majestic force emerged and directly suppressed him. Suddenly, Fang Chen felt a lot of pressure. True meaning of space and time. Fang Chen gave up attacking and dodged with all his might. The true meaning of space and time was displayed, and his body constantly shuttled through the void. However, no matter how he shuttled, he could not escape from Mo Yunfu's giant handprint. Suppress. Mo Yunfu's face was full of smiles. After killing Fang Chen, the second stage divine weapon would be his. Crash. The giant handprint swooped over Fang Chen's head and directly locked onto Fang Chen. At this time, Fang Chen could not care so much. He exerted all his strength to resist desperately. The aura of a sword hero instantly spread out. 7th grade sword intent surrounded him, and the 3 revolutions radiant sword technique was activated to the extreme. Crack. It was useless. Mo Yunfu's Great Void Handprint was too strong, and Fang Chen could not resist at all. Seeing that the giant handprint was about to suppress Fang Chen. At this moment, Fang Chen fell into an epiphany. Buzz. His mind was filled with the aura of a sword hero. Sword hero, a hero of the sword. At this moment, Fang Chen's mind was empty, and he truly understood the so-called sword hero. So, this is the real sword hero. Fang Chen was ecstatic. At the critical moment, he had an epiphany and understood the real sword hero. It was also at this time that Fang Chen underwent a transformation. The aura of sword Dao surrounded his body, his energy sea rolled, and his cultivation suddenly rose. 6th level Mystic King Realm. After cultivating for so long, he still could not break through. However, the sudden epiphany allowed his cultivation to easily rise to the 6th level of the Mystic King Realm. So what if you break through? Mo Yunfu, who was suppressed by the giant handprint, sneered and looked at Fang Chen with disdain. After breaking through to the 6th level of the Mystic King Realm, Fang Chen's strength improved by leaps and bounds. He suddenly raised his head and looked at the void. Die! When the void meteorite strike was performed, the void was immediately torn apart, and the giant handprint that was suppressing him shattered instantly. Crash! Mo Yunfu's body was hit by the void meteorite strike and instantly flew out. Mo Yunfu, who fell to the ground, was shocked. How can he be so strong? At this time, Mo Yunfu was somewhat regretful. If he had known this, he would have killed this person before. The epiphany and breakthrough in the battle allowed Fang Chen to turn the tables and directly suppress Mo Yunfu. The current Fang Chen's combat strength had completely surpassed a half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist. In a one-on-one fight, he could completely destroy Mo Yunfu. Fang Chen's face was full of smiles. He walked towards Mo Yunfu step by step. Boy, I am from the Mo Yun family. Let me go, and this matter will end here. How about it? Mo Yunfu said in a deep voice. He wanted to use the Mo Yun family to intimidate Fang Chen. Unfortunately, when he was in the ancient sword continent, Fang Chen had killed the younger generation of the Mo Yun family. Are you threatening me? Fang Chen asked. Fang Chen, my Mo Yun family is the overlord of the Mo Yun state. As a member of the Skysword Mansion, you should know that if you anger my Mo Yun family, even the Skysword Mansion can't protect you. Mo Yunfu said. If it was an ordinary person, they might really be frightened. However, he was facing Fang Chen. Your Mo Yun family has found the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor? Fang Chen suddenly asked. Chumph, with your strength, you want to get the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor? Mo Yunfu said disdainfully. Poochie. The hidden star sword streaked across the void and cut off one of Mo Yunfu's arms. The latter screamed miserably. "Where is the inheritance?" Fang Chen asked in a deep voice. Mo Yunfu's heart palpitated, and he hurriedly said, "It is in a mountain range in the center of the ruins." Mo Yunfu looked at Fang Chen bitterly. This person didn't even fear the Mo Yun family. If he really angered him, he definitely wouldn't have a good end. "Fang Chen, I'll tell you everything. I only ask that you let me live." At this time, Mo Yunfu also softened and no longer used the Mo Yun family to threaten Fang Chen. Mo Yunfu told Fang Chen about the main members of the Mo Yun family who had entered the ruins, as well as the information about Mo Yun Lianheng to Fang Chen. Finally, he raised his head and looked at Fang Chen. "I've told you everything I know. Can you let me go?" "Even if you don't tell me, I will know," Fang Chen said. "Fang Chen, do you really want to become enemies with the Mo Yun family?" Mo Yunfu's face was gloomy. "I'm afraid you still don't know one thing," Fang Chen said. "What is it?" Mo Yunfu asked. "The Mo Yun Lianju was also killed by me. Therefore, I have long been enemies with your Mo Yun family." Fang Chen stared at Mo Yunfu. "You." Chapter 993. The Inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. As a sword cultivator, Fang Chen was also very interested in the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. If he could obtain the Sky Devil Sword Emperor, he might be able to use it to reach a higher level in Sword Dao. After knowing the location of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance, Fang Chen rushed there at full speed. Sky Devil Mountain Range. The reason why it was called Sky Devil Mountain Range. First, it was because this was the location of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance. Second, it was because there was a very magical beast in the Sky Devil Mountain Range. This kind of beast was rare in the universe. They were called Sky Devils by the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. This kind of beast called Sky Devil was very powerful. Their bodies were small, but they were extremely powerful. Moreover, when fighting, their bodies would emit a black aura. This aura could cause warriors to hallucinate for a short time. In short, these Sky Devil beasts were very cunning. At this time, the Sky Devil Mountain Range was crowded with people. After hearing the news, the people of the 8 prefectures all came to the Sky Devil Mountain Range. Although the people of the 8 prefectures did not dare to compete with the Demon Cloud family, they also wanted to take the opportunity to enter the ancient ruins. After all, the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor was very tempting. In the depths of the Sky Devil Mountain Range, the people of the Demon Cloud family, led by Demon Cloud Lianheng, stood quietly. From time to time, they would attack and kill the Sky Devil beasts that attacked them. Not far away, the people of the 8 prefectures gathered together. They waited quietly, but did not dare to approach the Demon Cloud family. Whoosh! At a certain moment, the appearance of a Sky Devil beast instantly caused the people of the 8 prefectures to become restless. Kill! No one knew who shouted, but the people of the 8 prefectures immediately attacked. The overall strength of the people of the 8 prefectures was not as good as the Demon Cloud family, but they had more people. When everyone attacked together, the Sky Devil beast did not even have a chance to resist and was killed directly. However, when the Sky Devil beast died, it howled to the sky. Not good, a large number of Sky Devil beasts are approaching. Suddenly, the leader of one of the prefectures shouted with a serious face. Immediately, the warriors of the other prefectures also noticed the large number of Sky Devil beasts rushing over from the distance. Kill! The people of the 8 prefectures fought side by side, and instantly fought with the large number of Sky Devil beasts. Pucha, the heavenly devil demonic beast strength was abnormally tyrannical. However, there were still many warriors who died. Every time a heavenly demonic beast died, 2 or 3 martial artists would be killed. In the blink of an eye, there were casualties everywhere. The 8 prefectures had suffered heavy losses and the number of heavenly demonic beasts was constantly decreasing. In the depths of the mountain range, the Demon Cloud family had been watching from the sidelines. After fighting fiercely for 15 minutes, the people from the 8 prefectures were finally unable to withstand the attacks of the heavenly devil demonic beasts and retreated one after another. And the direction they were retreating in was the direction of the Devil Cloud family. Damn it! Mo Yun Lianheng secretly cursed. Immediately, the people of the Demon Cloud family raised their vigilance and prepared for battle. All of you, leave quickly. A half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist of the Demon Cloud family shouted. His words were filled with rage. Those damned martial artists from the 8 prefectures had actually lured the heavenly devil demonic beasts to their Demon Cloud family's territory. Normally, the people of the 8 prefectures would not dare to offend the Demon Cloud family. But now, he was about to die, so why did he think so much? Under the frantic escape of the people of the 8 prefectures, they finally retreated to the Demon Cloud family's territory. The Demon Cloud family was forced to participate in the battle. Suddenly, the battle escalated once again. With the participation of the Demon Cloud family, the battle was gradually under the control of the human martial artists. Although the heavenly devil demonic beasts were tyrannical, their numbers were limited. After fighting fiercely for 2 hours, the heavenly devil demonic beasts suffered heavy casualties and the remaining ones hurriedly fled. After the battle, the entire mountain range was in a mess. The Demon Cloud family had also lost many people. Mo Yun Lianheng was in a mess and his face was extremely gloomy. Damn it! Mo Yun Lianheng was furious. When Fang Chen came to the entrance of the heavenly devil mountain range, he heard the sounds of battle. Someone is fighting. Fang Chen said faintly. Immediately, he went into the heavenly devil mountain range. Along the way, Fang Chen found many corpses of human martial artists and heavenly devil demonic beasts. When he came to the depths of the heavenly devil mountain range, he found that the Demon Cloud family and the martial artists from the 8 prefectures were in a mess. They are fighting the heavenly devil demonic beasts. Fang Chen instantly understood and then looked at the Sky Sword Mansion's area. When the Sky Sword Mansion's martial artists entered the remnant, 100 of them had died and only 300 remained. And now, after this great battle, there were actually less than 100 people left. War is the cruelest. Fang Chen. In the Sky Sword Mansion's area, Hu Ming saw Fang Chen and hurriedly shouted. Fang Chen nodded and came to Hu Ming's side. Fang Chen, are you all right? Hu Ming asked. Fang Chen shook his head, indicating that he was fine. The other 7 prefectures also noticed Fang Chen. Only the Demon Cloud family's people had killing intent in their eyes when they saw Fang Chen. Mo Yun Lianheng waved his hand, stopping the Demon Cloud family's people from acting rashly. Then, he walked step by step towards Fang Chen. You're the Sky Sword Mansion's Fang Chen? Mo Yun Lianheng asked. Fang Chen, he's the Demon Cloud family's Mo Yun Lianheng, Hu Ming introduced. Fang Chen carefully sized up Mo Yun Lianheng, not saying anything. Fang Chen was a bit worried that the mark on his body would be discovered by Mo Yun Lianheng. But he was worrying too much. Apart from the Demon Cloud family's patriarch, no one else could discover this mark. If my guess is correct, you've obtained 2 tokens, Mo Yun Lianheng suddenly said. So what? Fang Chen asked back. Staring at Fang Chen, Mo Yun Lianheng said, Mo Yunfu really is a piece of trash. Mo Yun Lianheng thought that the Mo Yunfu he sent out hadn't found Fang Chen. But he didn't know that Mo Yunfu had already been killed by Fang Chen. The reason he dared to come here was because he didn't fear him. Hand over your 2 tokens, Mo Yun Lianheng said forcefully. In his view, the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance belonged to his Demon Cloud family, and the other 8 families didn't have the qualifications to touch it. Hearing this, the people of the 8 families looked at Fang Chen with burning eyes. Opening the inheritance required 5 tokens, and they didn't expect that Fang Chen would obtain 2 tokens. Everyone was worried that Fang Chen would hand over the tokens. Once Mo Yun Lianheng obtained 5 tokens, then the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor would really have nothing to do with them. Fang Chen. Hu Ming called out in a low voice. The Demon Cloud family's appetite is really big. They actually want to monopolize the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. Fang Chen said, do you think the people of the 8 families are vegetarians? Fang Chen's words aroused a strong reaction from the people of the 8 families. The reason they didn't dare to compete with the Demon Cloud family was because they didn't have a leader. Now that Fang Chen was leading, they had nothing to fear. You're courting death. Seeing the resistance of the people of the 8 families, Mo Yun Lianheng's face changed and he said coldly. He knew that he couldn't let Fang Chen continue. He had to make an example out of him. After I kill you, the tokens will still belong to me, Mo Yun Lianheng. Mo Yun Lianheng bellowed as a black long sword suddenly appeared in his hand. Then, he slashed out with the sword. It was an ordinary slash, but it made Fang Chen feel great danger. Crash! Fang Chen easily dodged Mo Yun Lianheng's attack with the space-time true intent. Child's play. Mo Yun Lianheng was much stronger than Mo Yun Fu. When he saw Fang Chen's space-type true intent, he was disdainful. Then, the black long sword in Mo Yun Lianheng's hand kept changing, and a majestic sword aura instantly spread out. Whoosh! The powerful sword light shot towards Fang Chen. Buzz! The aura of a 6th profound king instantly exploded. Then, Fang Chen used the void meteor annihilation. Bang! When the two collided, there was a deafening sound and sparks flew everywhere. In the end, Mo Yun Lianheng's attack was shattered by Fang Chen's void meteor annihilation. Mo Yun Lianheng looked at Fang Chen in surprise. I didn't expect a 6th profound king to have such combat strength. I have underestimated you. Mo Yun Lianheng smiled eerily. You've disappointed me, Fang Chen said with a smile. After this short exchange, he knew that Mo Yun Lianheng was only SOSO. Is that so? Next, I will make you despair. Mo Yun Lianheng sneered. At the same time, his aura rose to the peak. Chapter 994. Vital Essence. Vital essence emerged from Mo Yun Lianheng's body. The crowd from the 8 prefectures was shocked. All the martial artists were dumbfounded. Under normal circumstances, only Heaven Realm martial artists could absorb the vital spirit between heaven and earth. But Mo Yun Lianheng, a half-step Heaven Realm martial artist, had vital essence. It was too terrifying. No wonder Mo Yun Lianheng was not afraid of anyone. It turned out that he was the undisputed strongest martial artist in the relic. At this time, everyone from the Sky Sword Mansion looked at Fang Chen worriedly. Vital essence was extremely powerful. An ordinary Mystic King Realm martial artist could not resist it. Even an ordinary half-step Heaven Realm martial artist would not dare to fight it head-on. When Mo Yun Lianheng exuded the power of vital essence, he was already in an invincible state. Crash! A weak vital essence circled around the pitch-black long sword. Mo Yun Lianheng held the long sword in his hand and looked at Fang Chen. He sneered, Fang Chen, what do you have to fight me? Indeed, vital essence had appeared. What could Fang Chen use to fight him? Even Fang Chen did not expect Mo Yun Lianheng to have vital essence. In the entire Demon Cloud state, there were almost no martial artists in the half-step Heaven Realm who could absorb vital essence. Vital essence, huh? Fang Chen's eyes were burning. He stared at the vital essence and was full of fighting spirit. I want to see how strong your vital essence is. Fang Chen shouted. At the same time, he used the true meaning of space and time and the void meteor annihilation. Crash! The void was torn apart. A thick ray of light hit Mo Yun Lianheng's vital essence. Crack! The terror of vital essence was exposed. The ray of light that hit Mo Yun Lianheng was instantly shattered. Seeing this, Fang Chen threw out the rest of the scarlet maple leaves and detonated them. Boom! The vital essence in the scarlet maple leaves was instantly detonated. The wild explosion resounded through the sky. The surrounding martial artists quickly retreated for fear of being affected by the explosion. Scarlet maple leaves. Everyone cried out in shock. The explosive power of the scarlet maple leaf instantly covered demonic Cloud Lianheng's vital spirit and drowned it. Dong the earth trembled as the terrifying explosive force exhausted the vital spirit of demonic Cloud Lianheng, and it gradually dissipated. The grey aura quickly dissipated. In the center of the battlefield, Mo Yun Lian stood there in a sorry state. His face was filled with rage. Damn it! Mo Yun Lianheng clenched his fists and wished he could kill Fang Chen with a single punch. However, reason told him not to be impulsive. The aftermath of the explosion of the scarlet maple leaf had completely dissipated. At this time, the embarrassed Mo Yun Lianheng stared at Fang Chen. If it weren't for his vital essence, he would have died in the explosion. Fang Chen, you surprised me. Mo Yun Lianheng said coldly. Fang Chen stared at Mo Yun and asked, do you still want to continue fighting? Mo Yun shook his head and said, there's no point in continuing the battle. How about we each take a step back? Mo Yun Lianheng was afraid of Fang Chen's scarlet maple leaf, and Fang Chen was also a little afraid of Mo Yun Lianheng's strength. How? Fang Chen asked. Let's open the Sky Devil Sword Emperor's inheritance together and then enter together. Mo Yun Lianheng put away his long sword. When Fang Chen heard this, he pondered for a moment before nodding in agreement. This was the only win-win solution for now. When the 5 title plates are gathered together, you will be able to open the inheritance. Take out your title plate. As Mo Yun Lianheng spoke, he took out the 3 title plates that he had obtained. Seeing this, Fang Chen took out 2 badges. Suddenly, the 5 tokens floated in the air and burst out with a scorching light. The people of the 8 prefectures did not expect the situation to change like this. However, the retreat of the Demon Cloud family gave the people of the 8 prefectures a last glimmer of hope. The people of the Demon Cloud family were the most furious. They secretly communicated with Mo Yun Lianheng and wanted to kill Fang Chen by force. However, they were stopped by Mo Yun Lianheng. Firstly, they were not sure if Fang Chen still had a large number of scarlet maple leaves. Since he could casually throw out scarlet maple leaves, he must have more on him. They could not take the risk. Secondly, Fang Chen's attitude was so tough. Once he was defeated, he would definitely destroy the tokens. This was what Mo Yun Lianheng was most worried about. After entering the inheritance, he would kill Fang Chen. This was what Mo Yun Lianheng thought. At that time, Fang Chen would definitely die. Buzz. In the air, the 5 tokens gradually merged together and emitted a dazzling light. Finally, they turned into a token and let out a deafening sound. It disappeared into the void in front of them. In the next moment, the people saw an illusory spirit boundary appear. Let's go. Mo Yun Lianheng shouted, and the people of the Demon Cloud family entered the spirit boundary. Seeing this, the people of the other 8 prefectures also swarmed into the spirit boundary. Sky Demon Sword Chi. The moment Fang Chen entered the spirit boundary, he felt the vast Sky Demon Sword Chi permeating the void. This spirit boundary was extremely huge. As expected of the Sky Demon Sword Emperor, Fang Chen could not help but exclaim. This spirit boundary could only be set up by an elite like the Sky Demon Sword Emperor. Previously, Fang Chen was still guessing what level the Sky Demon Sword Emperor was at. After entering the spirit boundary, he was finally sure. The Sky Demon Sword Emperor was at least at the heavenly body tier, or even stronger. The inside of the spirit boundary was extremely spacious. Just as the cultivators were looking left and right for the Sky Demon Sword Emperor's inheritance, all of a sudden, a furious roar was heard. On the plains in the distance, dust flew and black figures appeared one after another. Their appearance directly caused the Sky Demon Sword Chi in the spirit boundary to change continuously. Those are sword puppets. An expert of the Demon Cloud family yelled. Suddenly, the people of the 8 prefectures were extremely nervous. So many sword puppets. Everyone was shocked. A sword puppet was a puppet refined by a sword principle expert using his sword principle cultivation. Their characteristics were much stronger than ordinary puppets. Looking at the sword puppets rushing from the distance, everyone's scalp went numb. Go! It was not known who shouted, but everyone immediately fled one after another. Whoosh! Whoosh! The only weakness of the sword puppets was their speed. Everyone fled while the swarm of sword puppets chased after them. After a while, someone found a mountain in front of them. Occupy the high ground. As soon as the voice fell, the cultivators rushed up the mountain like a tide. Then, Demon Cloud Lianheng said in a deep voice, half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists, stand at the front and block the sword puppets. At this time, everyone had no choice but to work together. Although Demon Cloud Lianheng wanted to kill Fang Chen, now was not the time. The people of the 8 prefectures quickly reached a consensus. Then, the half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists stood at the front, the 9th-level mystic King Realm martial artists stood at the back, and the weaker martial artists hid at the top of the mountain. Rumble. A deafening sound was heard, and the swarm of sword puppets rushed to the bottom of the mountain in a short while. Since the mountain was not big, the number of sword puppets was limited. The first batch of sword puppets was about 100. Attack. Seeing the sword puppets getting closer and closer to the crowd, Demon Cloud Lianheng shouted. Suddenly, many half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists activated their strongest attacks. Crack. The sword puppets at the front were hit by the powerful attacks and instantly shattered. Behind them, countless sword puppets continued to attack. Fang Chen was also in the first row. He used the Void Meteorite Strike to kill the sword puppets. Bang! Bang! Under everyone's joint efforts, the first wave of sword puppets failed. More than 100 sword puppets were shattered and scattered on the mountainside. Before everyone could recover from the shock, the second wave of sword puppets had arrived. Kill. All the martial artists tried their best to kill the sword puppets. Under the intense attacks, the sword puppets were constantly being killed. However, as time went by, more and more sword puppets reached the mountainside. Finally, the crowd realized that something was wrong. We can't just sit here and wait for death. There are more and more sword puppets. We will definitely die when all of them reach the mountainside. Someone shouted. Then what should we do? Chapter 995. Hearing someone say this, everyone's heart shook. Indeed, this boundary was the inheritance ground of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. It was impossible for sword puppets to appear for no reason. It was also impossible for so many sword puppets to attack everyone at the same time. The only explanation was that these sword puppets were designed by the Sky Devil Sword Emperor as a test for everyone. Thinking of this, everyone's eyes lit up. There are too many sword puppets. The speed at which we kill them can't keep up with the speed at which they rush over, Mo Yunlian said. The others racked their brains as they killed the sword puppets. On the other side, Fang Chen performed the Void Meteorite Strike and killed a large number of sword puppets in an instant. Then, he performed the 3 Revolutions Radiant Sword Technique. Crack. The performance of the 3 Revolutions Radiant Sword Technique shocked Fang Chen. A large number of sword puppets died under the 3 Revolutions Radiant Sword Technique. How is this possible? The 3 Revolutions Radiant Sword Technique was obviously not as powerful as the Void Meteorite Strike. How could its lethality exceed the latter? Could it be? Some ideas appeared in Fang Chen's mind. Then, he continued to perform the 3 Revolutions Radiant Sword Technique. He suddenly realized that when the light sword light pierced the sword puppets, it would split into countless small sword lights and penetrate into every part of the sword puppets' bodies. Eventually, it would destroy the sword puppets from the inside. Thus, the lethality of the 3 Revolutions Radiant Sword Technique became extremely powerful. Sword cultivators are the most effective against sword puppets, Fang Chen said to himself. Thinking of this, Fang Chen roared. I got it. Sword cultivators can only unleash their greatest destructive power against sword puppets. Hearing Fang Chen's words, everyone was a little confused. However, he was only able to display a powerful swordsmanship. There were many sword cultivators among the people present. Among them, Fang Chen and Mo Yun Lianheng were the strongest. Mo Yun Lianheng slashed out with his black sword. Immediately, a large number of sword puppets were shattered. Seeing this, Mo Yun Lianheng was overjoyed. All sword cultivators attacked together. Mo Yun Lianheng was sure that Fang Chen was telling the truth. In an instant, all the sword cultivators present stood in the first row and began a new round of attacks. Rumble as expected, after the first row was swapped with sword cultivators, everyone's lethality was raised to the highest level. Crack. After blocking several waves of attacks in succession, everyone discovered that the sword puppet's attack speed had become a little slow. Continue attacking. The sword puppet can't hold on any longer, Mo Yun Lianheng roared. Rumble deafening noises reverberated through the sky as countless martialists started to kill the sword puppets. After persisting for close to 6 hours, the sword puppets were finally exterminated by the human martial artists. The remaining sword puppets all retreated. Seeing this scene, The crowd on the mountain peak heaved a sigh of relief. Thankfully, there are many sword cultivators here. Otherwise, these sword puppets would be too difficult to kill, someone said. Mo Yun cast a sideways glance at Fang Chen, then led the crowd down the mountain. It was extremely dangerous inside the barrier. The people of the Demon Cloud family didn't move alone either. Instead, they moved with the people of the 8 prefectures. Mo Yun Lianheng was very clear in his heart. He would temporarily use the people of the 8 prefectures and kill them after he achieved his goal. The sword puppets have retreated. Let's go, Mo Yun Lianheng said. The group of people shuttled through the plains in a grandiose manner, advancing rapidly. Soon, they arrived at the center of the barrier. There was a huge array here. This array was faintly discernible. Illusory array. Only Fang Chen could tell that this was a powerful illusory array. The inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor is in this array. Mo Yun Lianheng was very excited. He took a step forward and prepared to enter the array. However, right at this moment, a resplendent sword light flashed on a blue stone in front of the formation. This scene attracted Mo Yun Lianheng's attention. What's that? Everyone looked at the mark on the green stone with burning eyes as they discussed. Mo Yun Lianheng's body stopped in front of the green stone. At this moment, a mark appeared on the green stone. This mark was in the shape of a sword. It contained a huge sword Dao aura. The inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. Mo Yun Lianheng was overjoyed as he walked towards the green stone. Stop him! Someone in the crowd yelled. Immediately, the cultivators of the 8 prefectures rushed towards the green stone. You're courting death. The Demon Cloud family launched a counterattack and blocked the cultivators of the 8 prefectures for Mo Yun Lian. A chaotic battle broke out and miserable screams could be heard. Although the Demon Cloud family's overall strength was strong, they still suffered heavy casualties under the joint attack of the 8 prefectures. Join forces to stop the Demon Cloud family, Xue Lian of the Bloodmark Mansion shouted. At this moment, the 8 prefectures abandoned their previous grudges and joined forces to besiege the Demon Cloud family. Fang Chen used the true meaning of time and space to arrive in front of the green stone. Get lost. Seeing that Fang Chen wanted to touch the sword mark, Mo Yun Lianheng suddenly punched out. Bang! The 2 fists collided and both of them were pushed back. After stabilizing himself, Mo Yun Lian took a step forward and directly jumped onto the blue stone. His big hand reached out and grabbed the sword-shaped imprint. Void Meteorite Strike. At the critical moment, Fang Chen used Void Meteor Annihilation. With a bang, he blocked Mo Yun Lianheng's giant hand. Fang Chen, I'm going to kill you. Mo Yun Lianheng roared in anger. He held the pitch-black long sword in his hand and slashed out streaks of terrifying sword light toward Fang Chen. The latter used the true meaning of time and space to dodge. Taking advantage of this time, Mo Yun Lianheng's hand grabbed the sword mark. In an instant, the green stone was shattered into pieces. Then, the sword mark drilled into Mo Yun Lianheng's hand. It went through Mo Yun Lianheng's meridians and entered his head. Crash! On Mo Yun Lianheng's forehead, the sword mark flashed and burst out with a bright light. Ah! Mo Yun Lianheng let out a miserable scream. He held his head with both hands and squatted on the ground. A strange aura was emitted from his body. This sudden turn of events caused everyone who was in the midst of an intense battle to stop. Young Master Lianheng. The people of the Demon Cloud family came to Mo Yun Lianheng's side and called out worriedly. At this moment, Mo Yun Lianheng was like a crazy demon. He held his head with both hands and screamed miserably. Complex veins flowed around his body, faintly discernible. Fang Chen felt extreme danger. Retreat! Fang Chen roared. Suddenly, the people of the 8 prefectures retreated quickly. All of you have to die. At this moment, demonic cloud Lian Ju suddenly stood up. His eyes shot out a substantial light. It was extremely frightening. Young Master Lianheng. Mo Yun Lianheng's aura made the people of the Demon Cloud family tremble. Die! Mo Yun Lianheng stretched out his finger. Suddenly, a terrifying finger light shot towards the people of the 8 prefectures. Poochie! Suddenly, a large number of martial artists turned into a blood mist. Mo Yun Lianheng's strength was too tyrannical. It must be the sword mark. Fang Chen, who was running away, said secretly, "Come back." After Mo Yun Lianheng killed some of the people of the 8 prefectures, his eyes fell on Fang Chen. Then, he stretched out his hand and grabbed at the void. Then, he pulled with force. Suddenly, the void was torn apart. Fang Chen's figure was forced to show up by Mo Yun Lianheng. Bang! Suffering from the powerful impact, Fang Chen's body flew back and fell in front of the illusory array. Too strong. Fang Chen couldn't resist Mo Yun Lianheng's power at all. Go to hell! Mo Yun Lianheng launched a powerful attack on Fang Chen. Fang Chen felt despair. However, he didn't give up. He gritted his teeth and entered the illusory array. Boom! Mo Yun Lianheng's attack heavily bombarded the illusory array. The illusory array shook and finally stabilized. At this moment, the sword mark on Mo Yun Lianheng's forehead emitted a trace of black aura. Then, Mo Yun Lianheng's emotions gradually stabilized. After a while, Mo Yun Lianheng was completely awake. "Young Master Lianheng, are you alright?" The people of the Demon Cloud family asked. Mo Yun Lianheng shook his head, indicating that he was fine. "Sword Dao Curse Seal?" Mo Yun Lianheng looked up at the sky and muttered to himself. The sword mark was actually a type of Sword Dao Curse Seal. After fusing with the Sword Dao Curse Seal, one's Sword Dao cultivation would skyrocket. At the same time, it would also become extremely manic. After fusing with the Sword Dao Curse Seal, Mo Yun Lianheng obtained a lot of information. This included the Sky Demon Sword Art, the strongest inheritance of the Sky Demon Sword Emperor. Chapter 996. The Sword Way Incantation was a very powerful medium. In the vast universe, some powerful swordsmen would put a part of their power into the Sword Way Incantation and leave it for the fated one. The Sword Way Incantation that Mo Yun Lianheng obtained came from the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. No one in the world knew that the Celestial Devil Sword Emperor practiced 2 extreme sword techniques. Other than the well-known Sky Devil Sword technique, there was another Dark Black Demon Sword technique. When this sword technique was cultivated to the extreme, its power was almost the same as the Sky Devil Sword technique. However, those who chose the Sword Way Incantation would not be able to obtain the Sky Devil Sword technique. The Sword Way Incantation was one of the 2 great inheritances of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. After obtaining the Sword Way Incantation, Mo Yun Lianheng knew. Only by killing the cultivator of the Sky Devil Sword technique and absorbing his power could he cultivate the Black Demon Sword technique to the extreme. This was also the idea of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor when he left his inheritance. He wanted to choose one of the 2 great inheritors. This person would be his strongest inheritor. Although I am not fated to obtain the Sky Devil Sword technique, I will definitely kill the one who possesses it and become the strongest inheritor of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor, Mo Yun Lianheng said to himself. The Black Demon Sword technique was a dark extreme sword technique. Cultivating this sword technique could easily cause one to go berserk. If it was light, one would be severely injured. If it was heavy, one would die. Just now, Mo Yun Lianheng merged with the Sword Way Incantation and fell into a berserk state. But now, he had recovered. Looking at the illusory array, Mo Yun Lianheng licked his dry lips and said, "I hope you can obtain the Sky Devil Sword technique." The Sky Devil Sword technique and the Black Demon Sword technique were natural enemies. There could only be one in the world. "Young Master Lianheng, what do we do now?" someone asked. "Enter the illusory array and look for opportunities." "I will wait here," Mo Yun Lianheng said. All the members of the Mo Yun family entered the illusory array. Mo Yun Lianheng sat cross-legged outside the illusory array and digested the power of the Sword Way Incantation. At this moment, the members of the 8 prefectures who had escaped were all terrified and did not dare to enter the illusory array. Inside the illusory array, Fang Chen stood quietly as his surroundings constantly changed. What a powerful illusory array! Fang Chen thought to himself. This illusion array still contained the aura of the illusory sword Dao. Fang Chen released his illusory sword Dao aura and felt that he could barely see the situation within a 1-meter radius. Inside the illusory array was a vast expanse of whiteness. His intuition told him that the heavenly demon sword technique was inside the illusion array. Where? Fang Chen was looking for the center of the illusion array. The people of the demon cloud family were also searching. Once they entered the illusion array, no one would be able to discover each other. At a certain moment, Fang Chen met the people of the demon cloud family. Swoosh! Before the people of the devil cloud family could make a move, Fang Chen killed them with a clean slash of his sword. After that, Fang Chen continued forward. Finally, after advancing for 2 hours, Fang Chen discovered that the fog here was too dense. His illusory sword path aura could no longer be maintained. The visibility was less than 1 meter. Fang Chen couldn't move an inch. Knock knock knock. Just as Fang Chen was at his wit's end, the golden heart suddenly beat rapidly. Seeing this, Fang Chen's face was overjoyed. Buzz! The golden heart released a golden luster that enveloped Fang Chen's body. In an instant, the white fog near Fang Chen retreated. The white fog seemed to be very afraid of the golden luster on Fang Chen's body. Under the guidance of the golden heart, after about an hour, Fang Chen arrived at the center of the illusion array. In the center of the illusion array, there was a stone platform. On the stone platform, there was a book. There was a very strong seal around this book. This is, Fang Chen saw the words on the book. The Heavenly Demon Sword Technique. He was extremely excited. Crash! The void was chaotic, and an illusory figure appeared. Congratulations on coming here. The illusory figure grinned. Fang Chen was shocked. Could this illusory figure be the Heavenly Demon Sword Emperor? That's right. I am the Heavenly Demon Sword Emperor. Back then, I left behind an illusory figure to wait for the fated one to come. The illusory figure continued. You passed all the tests and came here. This means that you are fated with me. You can obtain the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique. But the illusory figure's face was extremely solemn. Once you choose to cultivate the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique, the cultivator of the Black Demon Sword Technique will be your lifelong enemy until you kill him. The illusory figure said. Fang Chen was a little confused. He didn't know what the Black Demon Sword Technique was. He also didn't know who the cultivator of the Black Demon Sword Technique was. Crash! The Heavenly Demon Sword Technique floated into Fang Chen's hands. Then, the illusory figure said, the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique is my lifelong secret. Only Heaven Star Border Realm elites can cultivate it. Remember, be careful of the cultivator of the Black Demon Sword Technique. With that, the illusory figure disappeared. Fang Chen was shocked. Although he was confused, he still couldn't resist the temptation of the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique. He flipped open the book and saw the exquisite chants of the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique. It took him 15 minutes to finish reading the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique. Fang Chen felt that the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique was very difficult to understand. It's too profound. Fang Chen couldn't help but say. The Heavenly Demon Sword Emperor's achievements in the Sword Dao must be very high. Even with Fang Chen's heaven-defying potential in the Sword Dao, he still couldn't understand the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique. Fang Chen put away the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique and prepared to leave. Ha ha ha, the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique and the Black Demon Sword Technique have both found their owners. I really want to know which one of them is stronger. A voice filled with vicissitudes of life came from the void. Fang Chen could tell that it was the voice of the Heavenly Demon Sword Emperor. From what the Heavenly Demon Sword Emperor said, it seems like he specially set up these two inheritances and made them compete with each other. Fang Chen thought to himself. Suddenly, a thought flashed through Fang Chen's mind as he recalled the demonic cloud chain outside the illusion array. Could it be that Mo Yun Lianheng is the cultivator of the Black Demon Sword Technique? Mo Yun Lianheng just got the imprint and immediately went into a frenzy. Fang Chen thought of what the Heavenly Demon Sword Emperor said. The inheritor of the Black Demon Sword Technique and the inheritor of the Heavenly Demon Sword Technique would be mortal enemies. While Fang Chen was thinking, the ground suddenly trembled. The illusory formation shattered, and the people of the Mo Yun family appeared in front of him. However, before they could say anything, the void was torn apart. Everyone felt a flash of white light, and then they disappeared from the ruins. Fang Chen felt as if he had entered a spatial turbulence, and his whole body was filled with a terrifying aura. It was very oppressive. This feeling lasted for about 15 minutes before it finally disappeared. Whoosh! With a flash of white light, Fang Chen felt a dazzling light. Then, he looked up and found that he had actually left the ancient ruins of the heavenly demon sword emperor. "I'm out," Fang Chen muttered to himself. After a long time, Fang Chen confirmed that he should be out. After thinking for a while, Fang Chen quickly left this place. Soon, the people of the 8 prefectures appeared here. The people of the Mo Yun family also appeared here. Mo Yun Lianheng looked around and didn't find any trace of Fang Chen. Could it be that he didn't receive the inheritance? Mo Yun Lianheng thought to himself. Then, Mo Yun Lianheng led the people of the Mo Yun family and left this place. The people of the 8 prefectures also bid farewell to each other. The heavenly demon sword emperor's ancient ruins came to an end. No one knew who had obtained the heavenly demon sword technique. They also didn't know that the heavenly demon sword emperor had actually set up 2 inheritances. Fang Chen purposely wasted some time on the way back. He waited for the Sky Sword Prefecture's martial artists to return before he went back unhurriedly. "Fang Chen, why did you come back so late?" Hu Ming and the others had already been back for 2 days. During this time, the Sky Sword Prefecture's master asked about the situation in the ancient ruins, but they didn't get any information. After the Sky Sword Prefecture's master learned about Mo Yun Lianheng's situation, he concluded that the heavenly demon sword emperor's inheritance should have been obtained by Mo Yun Lianheng. Regarding this, he felt a little helpless. "When I came out, you were already gone," Fang Chen said simply. "It's good that you're back." After the trip to the ancient ruins, everyone was even more convinced of Fang Chen's abilities. In fact, Hu Ming even gave up the position of third guard captain to Fang Chen. When the Sky Sword Prefecture's master learned that Fang Chen had returned, he personally summoned Fang Chen. His cultivation has increased. The Sky Sword Prefecture's master looked at Fang Chen and smiled. Prefecture Master, Mo Yun Lianheng obtained a mysterious imprint and his strength increased dramatically. "We were no match for him. We couldn't enter the final illusion array, so," Fang Chen said slowly with an apologetic expression. Chapter 997. It was a pity that the Sky Sword Mansion did not get the inheritance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor. However, the Sky Sword Mansion master knew that the martial artists sent by the Demon Cloud family were definitely stronger than the other 8 mansions. Therefore, he could not blame Fang Chen. Furthermore, the Heavenly Sword Mansion's master had learned from others that Fang Chen's performance in the Remnant was extremely outstanding. The Sky Sword Mansion took the initiative to accept him as a disciple. Fang Chen's talent in sword principle was getting more and more unbelievable. The Sky Sword Mansion master even fantasized about whether Fang Chen could become someone like the Sky Devil Sword Emperor in the future. 100,000 years ago, the Sky Devil Sword Emperor appeared and shocked the entire Scar Island. The Sky Devil Sword Emperor came from the Sky Sword Mansion. At that time, the Sky Devil Sword Emperor was extremely glorious. Because of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor, the Sky Sword Mansion was extremely prosperous. The prosperity lasted for a long time. However, since the mysterious disappearance of the Sky Devil Sword Emperor, the Sky Sword Mansion gradually declined. Until now, the Sky Sword Mansion had few talents. It was at the bottom of the 8 mansions in the Demon Cloud state. As the Sky Sword Mansion master, he naturally wanted to change the current environment of the Sky Sword Mansion. He wanted to lead the Sky Sword Mansion to rise again. The appearance of Fang Chen gave the Sky Sword Mansion master hope. The first time he paid attention to Fang Chen was because of the test of the First Army's 3rd Guardian team. At that time, he personally set up the 9 layers seal. Moreover, he even said that no one under the Heaven Star realm could climb the 9th mountain. However, the result surprised him. Fang Chen used his absolute strength to break through the 9 layers of seals and ascend the 9th mountain. He left all the cultivators in the same batch far behind him. At that time, the Sky Sword Mansion master personally announced that Fang Chen was first in the overall assessment. After that, the Sky Sword Mansion master continued to pay attention to Fang Chen. This trip to the relic made the Sky Sword Mansion master make a decision. The Sky Sword Mansion wanted to cultivate Fang Chen and provide him with all kinds of resources. Fang Chen, are you willing to be my disciple? The Sky Sword Mansion master asked. Fang Chen was stunned and immediately looked up at the Sky Sword Mansion master. Upon seeing Fang Chen's silence, the Sky Sword Mansion master continued, "You can think about this matter carefully. Once you become my disciple, you must absolutely obey my orders." After pondering for a moment, Fang Chen asked, "Man ahead, may I ask if my freedom will be restricted if I become your disciple? I am the mansion master of the Sky Sword Mansion. My disciple will naturally have to stay in the Sky Sword Mansion," the Sky Sword Mansion master said. Hearing this, Fang Chen immediately gave up on this plan. Then, he tactfully said, "Lord Mansion Master, I don't have any plans in this regard for the time being. If I do, I will consider Lord Mansion Master immediately." When the Sky Sword Mansion Master heard this, he did not say much. He nodded and said, "All right, you can go back first. If you have thought it through, come and look for me." "Thank you, Lord Prefect." Fang Chen cupped his hands and turned to leave. However, just as Fang Chen walked to the door, he suddenly remembered something. Then, he turned around and looked at the Sky Sword Mansion Master. He asked, "Lord Mansion Master, I have a request." "Speak," the Sky Sword Mansion Master said calmly. "I would like to know where I can find the 9 turns life and death herb," Fang Chen asked. When the Sky Sword Mansion Master heard this, he was a little surprised. "Why do you want the 9 turns life and death herb?" The Sky Sword Mansion Master said slowly, "The 9 turns life and death herb is not considered precious. However, it is very rare to see it in the Sky Sword Mansion." Fang Chen looked at the Sky Sword Mansion Master anxiously. The latter pondered for a moment and said, "However, I know a place that should have this spiritual herb." "Where?" Fang Chen asked hurriedly. "The Divine Medicine Pavilion," the Sky Sword Mansion Master said. When Fang Chen heard this, he was overjoyed. He cupped his hands and thanked the Sky Sword Mansion Master. He knew about the Divine Medicine Pavilion. It was in the Sky Sword Mansion and was considered the largest elixir production force in the Sky Sword Mansion. The Divine Medicine Pavilion did not interfere in the Sky Sword Mansion's affairs. They only focused on developing elixir production. After returning to the third Guardian group, Fang Chen's face was filled with joy. He was ready to set off to the Divine Medicine Pavilion. The Divine Medicine Pavilion was located at the border of the Sky Sword Mansion. It was close to the Sky Thunder State. "I hope I can get the 9 turns life and death herb." Fang Chen packed up and set off to the Divine Medicine Pavilion. After a few days, Fang Chen arrived at the city where the Divine Medicine Pavilion was located. Although the city was remote, it was unusually prosperous. It was all because of the Divine Medicine Pavilion's existence. No wonder it's the largest elixir production force in the Sky Sword Mansion. Fang Chen sighed as he looked at the tall buildings in the city that reached into the clouds. The streets were filled with people. There were martial artists everywhere. After passing through a few streets, Fang Chen arrived at the Divine Medicine Pavilion. When the staff saw Fang Chen coming in, he hurried over and asked, "Mister, is there anything I can help you with?" "I want to buy the 9 turns life and death herb," Fang Chen said. When the staff heard this, he was a little surprised. However, he quickly regained his composure and said, "The 9 turns life and death herb is 10 million purple crystals per stalk." 10 million. Fang Chen was shocked. A stalk of 9 turns life and death herb actually cost 10 million purple crystals. This was comparable to the entire net worth of a martial artist who just entered the Heaven Star Border realm. In the ruins, Fang Chen obtained the interspatial rings of a few half-step Heaven Star Border realm martial artists from the Bloodscar Mansion. There were only 5 million purple crystals in total. In addition to the 1 million purple crystals that he originally had, he only had 6 million purple crystals in total. "I'm still short of 4 million purple crystals." Fang Chen was a little helpless. The 9 turns life and death herb was right in front of him, but he couldn't buy it. "Mister, do you need it?" When the staff saw Fang Chen hesitating, he asked. Fang Chen forced a smile and said, "I didn't bring enough purple crystals. Wait for me to go back and get them." After leaving the Divine Medicine Pavilion, Fang Chen's face was filled with helplessness. At this moment, a stooped old man smiled and walked to Fang Chen's side. "Little brat, are you unable to buy the elixirs you need because you don't have enough purple crystals?" When Fang Chen heard this, he turned his head and saw that the stooped old man's clothes were in tatters. He had a sneaky smile on his face. "How do you know?" Fang Chen asked in return. "I've been here for many years and have seen many martial artists like you." The stooped old man smiled. Fang Chen didn't say anything and prepared to leave. However, he was stopped by the stooped old man. "Little brat, I have a way to earn purple crystals quickly. Do you want to know?" Fang Chen, who had already walked out, suddenly stopped and asked, "What method?" The stooped old man chuckled and said, "Help me hunt demonic beasts, and I'll pay you purple crystals." "What demonic beast? How much is it?" Fang Chen asked. Now that he urgently needed the 9 turns life and death herb, he couldn't care less. "Cool breeze deer, 100,000 purple crystals each." The stooped old man smiled. "Are you serious?" Fang Chen asked. The stooped old man nodded heavily and said, "This old man's reputation is not bad." Just as the stooped old man finished speaking, a middle-aged martial artist suddenly walked over and handed the stooped old man a spatial ring. He said, "5 cool breeze deer, 500,000 purple crystals." The stooped old man inspected it and then handed 500,000 purple crystals to the middle-aged martial artist. The middle-aged martial artist didn't say anything and turned to enter the Divine Medicine Pavilion. "Look, this person is also helping me hunt the cool breeze deer." The stooped old man grinned. Seeing this, Fang Chen didn't hesitate and nodded. "All right, I can help you hunt the cool breeze deer, but how do I contact you when the time comes?" "It's at the entrance of the Divine Medicine Pavilion." "Where else can I get a large spatial ring?" Fang Chen asked. "A large spatial ring?" The stooped old man was a bit surprised. Fang Chen was a bit embarrassed. His spatial ring was considered large in the ancient Sword Continent, but in the outer realm, this spatial ring was completely useless. "This spatial ring is for you. 100,000 purple crystals. You just need to kill one more cool breeze deer." The stooped old man took out a spatial ring. Fang Chen received the spatial ring and was instantly shocked. This spatial ring seemed to have a space of its own. It was countless times larger than the spatial ring he used before. "Thanks." Fang Chen urgently needed purple crystals, so he didn't have time to chat with the stooped old man. The stooped old man had already told Fang Chen where the cool breeze deer would appear. Soon, Fang Chen left the city and arrived at a mountain range. "I wonder how strong this cool breeze deer is." This was the first time Fang Chen had heard of a demonic beast like the cool breeze deer, so he didn't understand the situation. After entering the mountain range, Fang Chen carefully searched. At a certain moment, a furious roar suddenly rang out. Immediately after, Fang Chen discovered that above his head, a majestic energy was diving down. "Not good," Fang Chen exclaimed inwardly. Immediately, he executed the space-time true intent and disappeared. At the same time, Fang Chen executed the space-time meteorite annihilation. Bang! With a loud bang, the void was torn apart and the black shadow was sent flying. Fang Chen stabilized himself and looked over. He discovered that the demonic beast had a long neck and was very tall. It was the cool breeze deer that the stooped old man wanted him to kill. Half-step Heaven Star Border Realm. Fang Chen grinned. If it was only a half-step Heaven Star Border Realm, he wouldn't be afraid. Rumble. He fully activated the power of a 6th-level Profound King. After a while, Fang Chen killed the cool breeze deer and stored it in his spatial ring. Next, he searched for the second cool breeze deer. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. During this period, Fang Chen hunted 30 cool breeze deer. According to the price of 100,000 purple crystals per deer, it was only 3 million purple crystals. 1 million purple crystals. I'm still missing 11. Fang Chen thought to himself. However, what Fang Chen didn't know was that while he was hunting the cool breeze deer, a cool breeze deer emitting a terrifying aura rushed out from the depths of the mountain range. If the stooped old man was here, he would definitely be shocked. This demonic beast was the king of the cool breeze deer. Its strength was comparable to an early-stage Heaven Star border realm martial artist. Fang Chen didn't know that danger was approaching and continued to search for the cool breeze deer. Poochie. He pierced the cool breeze deer's head with his sword and stored it in his spatial ring. 10 left. As he got closer to completing the mission, Fang Chen felt carefree. He hummed a tune as he searched for the cool breeze deer. In a secluded place, 2 half-step Heaven Star border realm martial artists were whispering. "Boss, this kid has several cool breeze deer. Should we kill him?" Chapter 998. In the blink of an eye, the 2 half-step Heaven Star border realm martial artists finished their discussion and prepared to kill Fang Chen. At this moment, Fang Chen, who was searching for the cool breeze deer, suddenly stopped in his tracks. His expression was solemn as his golden heart beat rapidly. Such an oppressive aura. Fang Chen felt that the surrounding air was too oppressive. It even gave him an impulse to approach danger. His golden heart was beating abnormally, which made Fang Chen extremely vigilant. What's going on? Fang Chen was puzzled. However, just as Fang Chen was pondering, the 2 half-step Heaven Star border realm martial artists appeared. "Brat, you're really unlucky to have met us brothers." Before Fang Chen could react, the 2 brothers launched a fierce and domineering attack on Fang Chen. Courting death. Fang Chen's eyes emitted a cold light as he held the hidden star sword and executed the 3 revolution radiance sword art. Bang bang bang. When the radiance sword light came into contact with the 2 brothers, it instantly exploded. "Boss, he's a tough one." The second brother shouted. "Kill him with all your might," the boss roared. Immediately, the 2 brothers used all their strength to attack Fang Chen. Gradually, Fang Chen gained the upper hand. Using the space-time true intent, Fang Chen could easily dodge the 2 brothers' attacks. It seemed like the 2 brothers were attacking Fang Chen, but in reality, Fang Chen was only receiving 1 attack each time. Space-type true intent. Seeing this, the 2 brothers were furious. Then, the boss took out a scarlet maple leaf. "Go to hell." The boss threw out the scarlet maple leaf and it instantly exploded. However, just as Fang Chen was about to escape, a furious beast roar suddenly sounded. Then, a huge cool breeze deer king rushed into the center of the explosion. The cool breeze deer king's body emitted a bright green light, forcibly blocking the explosive power of the scarlet maple leaf. "It's the cool breeze deer king." Seeing the deer king appear, the 2 brothers were extremely excited. They immediately gave up on attacking Fang Chen. The 2 brothers had waited in the mountain range for so long just to kill the deer king of cool breeze. "Haha, we've struck it rich." Second bro laughed loudly. At the same time, the 2 brothers unleashed their respective trump cards one after another. Boss threw out 3 scarlet maple leaves at once, and all of them exploded. The power of the explosion made Fang Chen, who was far away, feel a great pressure. Cool breeze deer king. To be honest, Fang Chen was also very interested in the breeze deer king. However, the deer king of breeze had reached the Heaven Star border realm. He had no chance of winning. Let them fight for a while. Fang Chen hid in the void, watching the 2 brothers fight deer king cool breeze. On the ground, the deer king of cool breeze's attack power was tyrannical and destructive. However, the 2 brothers did not prepare their trump card for nothing. After the 3 scarlet maple leaves exploded, the surface of the deer king's body was wounded. Roar. The deer king of cool breeze was enraged. He opened his mouth and stretched out his head, wanting to bite the 2 brothers. Right at this moment, a black light appeared around the 2 brothers. What kind of attack is this? Fang Chen's heart palpitated. If the 2 brothers had used this trump card at the beginning, he would have died without a doubt. Fortunately, the deer king of cool breeze appeared. Bang! Bang! The deer king of cool breeze's attack was very sharp, but it was covered by the black light at this moment. "Boss, kill him." At the same time, the 2 brothers rushed towards the deer king of cool breeze. Although they did not know what the blacknet was, it was enough to trap the deer king of cool breeze, a Heaven Star border realm cultivator. Poochie. The divine weapons of the 2 brothers pierced into the body of the deer king of breeze. Fresh blood flowed out continuously, and the deer king of cool breeze roared into the sky. However, The Deer King of Cool Breeze couldn't break free from the black net. Crack! At a certain moment, the divine weapons of the two brothers finally injured the Deer King's vitals, causing the latter to cry out in pain. At this moment, the Deer King of Cool Breeze underwent a huge change. It entered a berserk state. Roar! The Deer King of Cool Breeze let out a long roar and entered a berserk state. Crack! The black net-like aura was instantly shattered. Then, the Deer King of Cool Breeze bit off the second brother's head. Seeing this, the boss's heart was filled with fear. He panicked and tried to escape. Crack! The Deer King of Cool Breeze stuck its head out and bit down. The boss quickly dodged, but his arm was still bitten off by the Deer King of Cool Breeze. How can this be? The boss was disheartened and terrified. He didn't understand why the trump card that he had painstakingly prepared couldn't do anything to the Deer King of Cool Breeze. I can't accept this. The boss roared in anger. At the same time, he took out 2 scarlet maple leaves and threw them at the Deer King of Cool Breeze. Rumble! The scarlet maple leaves exploded, and a powerful force engulfed the Deer King of Cool Breeze. The Deer King of Cool Breeze, who had entered a berserk state, was heavily injured. After being engulfed by the explosion of the scarlet maple leaves, its injuries became even more serious. Bang! When the Deer King of Cool Breeze approached the boss, its body suddenly fell to the ground. The boss, who was already in despair, was suddenly overjoyed when he saw this scene. The Deer King of Cool Breeze was dead. Ha ha ha, I finally got it. The boss laughed heartily. Poochie. However, right at the moment when the boss was laughing wildly, a poochie sound was heard. An ice-cold sword ruthlessly pierced through his back and into his chest. Crash! Blood flowed out from the boss's mouth. The boss turned his head with difficulty, wanting to see who it was. However, a face that he didn't expect appeared. It's you. The boss endured the pain all over his body and said with difficulty, I can't accept this. The boss was filled with regret. If he knew this would happen, he would have directly killed this kid. Hateful. Fang Chen pulled out the hidden star sword and the boss's body softly fell to the ground. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Fang Chen was that oriole. When the Deer King of Cool Breeze was fighting with the two brothers, he appeared and reaped the benefits. That black net-like aura was really powerful. Fortunately, it was like that. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to do anything to the Deer King of Cool Breeze. Fang Chen put away the corpse of the Deer King of Cool Breeze and couldn't help sighing. At this moment, Fang Chen finally understood. There were countless geniuses in the vast universe. One couldn't underestimate any martial artist. Otherwise, one wouldn't be able to die in peace. He picked up the interspatial rings of the two brothers, but found that they were empty. It seems like they used up all their belongings to kill the Deer King of Cool Breeze. After that, Fang Chen quietly left the mountain range. Demon Cloud State Capital, Demon Cloud Family Headquarters. What patriarch? You're going to personally kill the culprit? An elder asked in surprise. Letting the culprit escape again and again is the shame of our family. The patriarch said coldly. In order to take revenge for the Demon Cloud State, he didn't hesitate to go personally. Patriarch, can't you just send a Heaven Star Border Realm expert? The elder continued. The patriarch shook his head and said, only I can sense the mark. The patriarch's eyes flashed with killing intent. The people that the Demon Cloud family wanted to kill had never been able to survive. After returning to the city, he went to the Divine Medicine Pavilion and immediately saw the hunchbacked old man. You're back so soon. The hunchbacked old man smiled when he saw Fang Chen. Old man, what's the price of the Deer King of Cool Breeze? Fang Chen asked. What Deer King of Cool Breeze? You killed the Deer King of Cool Breeze? The hunchbacked old man was astonished. He didn't believe it at all. The Deer King of Cool Breeze was so powerful that a profound king couldn't kill it. What's the price? Fang Chen was too lazy to explain. The price of the Deer King of Cool Breeze is very high. It's always been priceless on the market. The hunchbacked old man said, if you really have the Deer King of Cool Breeze, I can charge you more than the market price. 10 million. Fang Chen was stunned when he heard this. A half-step Heaven Star Border Realm Deer King of Coolbreeze was only worth 100,000 purple crystals. A Heaven Star Border Realm Deer King of Coolbreeze was actually worth 10 million purple crystals. The market price is 8 million. I'll give you 10 million. That's high enough, said the hunchbacked old man. Fang Chen thought for a moment and felt that the Deer King of Coolbreeze was useless to him, so he nodded. There are 31 Coolbreeze deer and 1 Deer King. Check it, said Fang Chen. The hunchbacked old man received the spatial ring and began to inspect it. When he found the Deer King's corpse, he was wild with joy. It was simply unbelievable that a mystic King Realm martial artist had actually killed a Clearwind Deer King. Brat, did you kill this Deer King? Asked the hunchbacked old man with a burning gaze. Fang Chen shook his head. I don't seem to have to answer this kind of question. The old man tactfully didn't ask any more questions. After the inspection, he returned the spatial ring to Fang Chen. Then he handed over 13,100,000 purple crystals to Fang Chen. Brat, if you have any good things next time, come find me. The hunchbacked old man grinned. Fang Chen nodded and then entered the Divine Medicine Pavilion. After paying 10 million purple crystals, he obtained the 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass. Young master, this is your 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass. When Fang Chen held the 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass in his hand, he was incomparably excited. The 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass's main body was only as thick as a thumb. There were 9 flowers growing on the main body, representing the 9 revolutions. It faintly emitted the aura of life and death. So this is the 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass. Fang Chen muttered to himself. This 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass was truly miraculous. Just by holding it in his hand, he could feel 2 completely opposite auras entering his palm. After observing it for a moment, Fang Chen put the 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass into his spatial ring and then left the Divine Medicine Pavilion. Brat, what kind of spirit pill did you buy? The hunchbacked old man was still at the entrance of the Divine Medicine Pavilion. When he saw Fang Chen come out, he asked. 9 Revolution Life-Death Grass, said Fang Chen. However, at this moment, a shocking aura swept over. Then Fang Chen felt his heart palpitating. The mark on his forehead was flickering. Chapter 999. The mark on his forehead flickered, and a trace of a strange aura spread out. Thinking of this vast aura coming from the distance, Fang Chen's expression changed. Someone from the Devil Cloud family. Fang Chen's expression was extremely grave. The old man saw Fang Chen's strange expression and asked, Kid, what's wrong? Nothing. As soon as Fang Chen finished speaking, he bade farewell to the hunchbacked old man. After which, his figure flashed and disappeared into the void. Whoosh! Not long after Fang Chen left, a powerful aura surrounded the place. A figure appeared in the sky above the Godly Herb Pavilion, staring down at the ground. The old man recognized this person. He was surrounded by terrifying astral yuan. He was the patriarch of the Devil Cloud family, as well as the master of the entire Devil Cloud prefecture. Just what did that kid do to offend the Devil Cloud family? The old man was a bit surprised. The Devil Cloud family's patriarch was so powerful that countless people looked up to him. His soul spread out and instantly surrounded the Divine Medicine Pavilion. In the blink of an eye, he found that Fang Chen was no longer there. At the same time, he sensed the mark rapidly moving. How dare you try to escape from under this old man's nose? The Devil Cloud family's patriarch snorted and chased after him. Although only a short time had passed, Fang Chen had already escaped from the city and rushed into the distance. Because of his space-time true intent, Fang Chen's speed was extremely fast within the profound King realm. However, the faster he fled, the more he could sense that the terrifying aura behind him was getting closer and closer. I definitely can't let him catch up. Fang Chen thought to himself. If the little mouse hadn't been asleep, perhaps it would have been able to help him. Right now, he could only rely on himself. Kid, you can't escape. The Devil Cloud family's patriarch quickly chased after him. Although they were separated by 50 miles, the Devil Cloud family's patriarch was very confident that he could catch up. Too strong. Could it be that he's the patriarch of the Devil Cloud family? Fang Chen wondered. The terrifying aura in the air made Fang Chen feel suffocated. Even the Sky Sword Mansion Master's aura was not so strong. The strength of this aura reminded Fang Chen of Thunder Freya. Before Thunder Freya made the breakthrough, his chi was at the same level as this man. But after he made the breakthrough, his chi was a lot stronger than this man. From this point, one could make the connection. This person's cultivation base must have reached the peak of Heaven Dipper Realm Level 9. In the entire Demon Cloud family, apart from the Patriarch, there was no one else who had such strength. To think that the Patriarch would personally come to kill me. Fang Chen thought to himself as he fled. It seemed that the status of the Demon Cloud Lian province in the Demon Cloud family was not low. Whoosh, whoosh. Fang Chen pushed the true meaning of space and time to the extreme, directly changing direction and rushing out of the Demon Cloud state. His destination was the Sky Thunder continent. As long as he could enter the Heavenly Thunder continent, he would not be afraid of the Demon Cloud Patriarch. Die, brat. The Demon Cloud Patriarch's speed became faster and faster. In the end, he was only one step away from Fang Chen. At this time, the Demon Cloud Patriarch suddenly punched out. Crack! The speed of this punch was so fast that Fang Chen could not dodge it. Fang Chen was hit by this punch and his body flew out directly. However, thanks to the insane defense of the God-level sword body, he was able to successfully block the punch of the Demon Cloud Patriarch. However, because of this, Fang Chen's speed slowed down. The Demon Cloud Patriarch chased after him. Die! The Demon Cloud Patriarch did not give Fang Chen any chance to speak and punched out again. This punch was so powerful that even a Heaven Dipper Realm expert would not be able to block it. Once hit by this punch, Fang Chen would definitely die. No! Fang Chen roared and desperately fled. Seeing that the Demon Cloud Patriarch's punch was about to hit Fang Chen. Suddenly, in front of Fang Chen, a crack appeared in the void, and then a terrifying aura spread out, instantly swallowing the Demon Cloud Patriarch's terrifying fist light. Brat, run! A voice entered Fang Chen's ears. Fang Chen was stunned for a moment, then immediately used all his strength to display the true meaning of time and space, and rushed towards the Sky Thunder continent. After Fang Chen left, the crack in the void closed, and the hunchbacked old man's figure slowly appeared. The dignified Demon Cloud Patriarch actually personally chased after a mysterious King Realm brat. The hunchbacked old man was not afraid at all when he saw the Demon Cloud Patriarch, and he grinned. "Mph, you, the dignified medicine saint, disguised as a hunchbacked old man and deceived those little guys in front of the Divine Medicine Pavilion. Why can't I chase after a mysterious King Realm martial artist?" The Demon Cloud Patriarch snorted and said coldly. If someone was here, they would definitely be shocked. The name of the medicine saint was quite famous in the Demon Cloud continent. If there was anyone in the Demon Cloud continent who was as famous as the Prefecture Lord, it would be the medicine saint. It was said that the medicine saint's achievements in alchemy were beyond the reach of the Prefecture Lord. And the medicine saint did not care about worldly power at all. He often appeared and disappeared mysteriously, and no one had ever seen the real medicine saint. However, the medicine saint had appeared here. "I say, old man Demon Cloud, that brat has some fate with me. Why don't you give me some face and let him go?" The medicine saint grinned. "Medicine saint, it's best if you don't meddle in other people's business. That brat killed my clan's Demon Cloud continent. He will definitely die," said the Demon Cloud Patriarch. The Demon Cloud Patriarch's attitude was very clear. He had to kill Fang Chen no matter what. If the medicine saint tried to stop him, he would do his best to fight the medicine saint. Hearing this, the medicine saint's expression changed. He also hadn't expected that brat to have killed the Demon Cloud family's Demon Cloud continent. No wonder the Demon Cloud Patriarch was so furious that he personally attacked. The medicine saint shook his head and thought to himself. "It seems you're determined to kill that brat," said the medicine saint. The Demon Cloud Patriarch nodded and no longer said anything. He took a step and directly passed by the medicine saint, disappearing from his line of sight. The medicine saint looked at the departing figure of the Demon Cloud Patriarch and sighed. Then he said softly, "Brat, I can only help you up to here. The world didn't know that the medicine saint often appeared in every corner of the demon cloud continent, disguised as all kinds of cultivators. In the few days that Fang Chen had been at the Divine Medicine Pavilion, the medicine saint had been at the entrance of the Divine Medicine Pavilion for almost a month. The reason he pretended to be a stooped old man was to test the younger generation of cultivators. He wanted to see if anyone could inherit his mantle. Fang Chen's performance made the stooped old man's eyes light up. However, he wasn't good at alchemy. The reason he came out to stop the Demon Cloud Patriarch was to buy time for Fang Chen. It was because he had a good impression of this brat. It was that simple. As for the Demon Cloud Patriarch being angry, that was impossible. What kind of person was the Demon Cloud Patriarch? How could he blame the medicine saint for a profound king realm cultivator? After all, the medicine saint's strength was similar to the Demon Cloud Patriarch's. If he was forced into a corner, the medicine saint could wave the flag and shout, and who knew how many hidden powerhouses would come to help? Fang Chen, who was fleeing in a hurry, was very puzzled. Who had just saved him? Except for Thunder Freya, I don't seem to know any other powerhouses. Fang Chen said secretly. The person who dared to stop the Demon Cloud Patriarch just now must be at the peak of the Heavenly Dipper realm. Fang Chen really couldn't figure out who it was. At this time, Fang Chen was surrounded by bloodline aura. He had already activated the power of his bloodline. Fang Chen's bloodline was a special bloodline, which was inherited from his mother. The power of his bloodline was very tyrannical. High-intensity activation of the power of his bloodline would result in a backlash. However, he couldn't care so much at this moment. The power of his bloodline surrounded his body, and the true meaning of time and space was activated to the extreme. Fang Chen's speed skyrocketed. As he got closer and closer to the Sky Thunder continent, Fang Chen's heart became more and more nervous. After about another 3 minutes, Fang Chen could already see the edge of the Sky Thunder continent. The Sky Thunder continent is about to arrive. Fang Chen's face was overjoyed, and then he sped up. However, at this time, a thunderbolt sounded out of the blue. Boy, die! The speed of a Heavenly Dipper realm powerhouse was unimaginably fast. With a loud shout, a thick thunderbolt instantly fell from the sky and heavily bombarded Fang Chen's body. Crack! Fang Chen's defense was instantly shattered, and his body was directly blasted into the ground. Run! Fang Chen's consciousness was about to blur. The power of the thunderbolt just now was too terrifying. Fang Chen, who was smashed into the ground, subconsciously told himself that he couldn't stop, and could only escape forward. Under the ground, Fang Chen used the star-hidden sword to quickly dig the soil and move forward. Above the ground, the Demon Cloud Patriarch sneered and punched out with both fists. Dong! The ground was trembling. Even through the thick layer of soil, Fang Chen almost fainted from the tremors. I can't die. Fang Chen was hanging on to his last breath, and he struggled to move forward. Crash! Finally, with Fang Chen's efforts, he crossed the border and came to the Sky Thunder continent. Not dead yet. Sensing Fang Chen's aura, the Demon Cloud Patriarch was a little surprised. This boy's tenacity was beyond his expectation. However, he would definitely die soon. Buzz! The vital spirit around the clan leader of the Demon Cloud clan emerged and gathered on his fist. Then, he punched the ground where Fang Chen was. At this time, the Lord of the Sky Thunder continent was in a city not far from Fang Chen. Lord, how do you have time to come here? Opposite the prefecture lord sat an old man with a full beard. Uncle Fu, I came to find you because of the super soldier. The Lord of the Sky Thunder continent grinned. Oh, Lord, what's your plan? The old man called Uncle Fu asked. When the Lord of the Sky Thunder continent was about to speak, he suddenly sensed a vast aura. There are Heavenly Dipper realm powerhouses fighting at the border of the Sky Thunder continent. As soon as the Lord of the Sky Thunder continent finished his words, he waved his hand and tore the space apart. His figure instantly disappeared. Uncle Fu was also stunned, but he quickly followed behind. At the border of the Sky Thunder continent, under the ground, Fang Chen was dying and was about to fall into a coma. Chapter 1000. The Patriarch of the Demon Cloud clan punched down. Boom! A deafening sound resounded through the sky. The fist radiance contained an extremely majestic power as it swooped down. As long as this fist hit Fang Chen, the latter would definitely die. Even if he was underground, he would not be able to avoid the power of this fist. Dong! Dong! Fang Chen, who was lying underground, was in a daze. He shook his head hard, trying to wake himself up, but he could not do it. At this moment, the golden heart beat rapidly, and a trace of clear flow drilled into his mind. In an instant, Fang Chen's mind regained consciousness. Immediately, he felt a palpitating power approaching rapidly. Run! Fang Chen's eyes were full of determination as he said in a low voice. Fang Chen tried his best to stand up and flew upwards with great difficulty. Crash! In the blink of an eye, Fang Chen was about to reach the surface. It was also at this moment that the terrifying fist light was about to strike the ground. Die! The patriarch of the Demon Cloud clan stood in the sky with a sinister look on his face as he said coldly. The patriarch of the Demon Cloud clan was furious. Even if Fang Chen died 100 times, it would not be enough to appease the patriarch of the Demon Cloud clan. He thought that everything would be over. However, two figures suddenly appeared in the sky above the Heavenly Thunder continent. The moment the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder continent appeared, he waved his hand and a stream of spiritual chi shot out rapidly. In an instant, it appeared in front of the terrifying fist radiance. Before the terrifying fist radiance hit the ground, it hit the terrifying fist radiance. Dong! A deafening sound erupted in an instant. The terrifying fist radiance was blocked and exploded directly, and the tyrannical energy dissipated. At this moment, Fang Chen had just appeared on the surface, and his body was directly blown away by the dissipating energy. He thought that his fist was enough to kill Fang Chen. However, such an accident happened. The patriarch of the Demon Cloud clan was furious and turned his head to look into the distance. I was wondering who it was. It turns out to be the patriarch of the Demon Cloud clan. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder continent withdrew his hand and said with a smile. Behind the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder region, Uncle Fu also stood quietly. Tianlei, why are you stopping me? Asked the Demon Cloud clan's leader coldly. Patriarch Mo Yun, this is the territory of the Heavenly Thunder Prefecture. If you let that punch hit the ground, it will definitely cause great damage to the Heavenly Thunder Prefecture, said the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder Prefecture. Are you kidding me? The full blow of a Heaven Dipper realm peak powerhouse was enough to destroy everything within a few miles. Moreover, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State did not understand why the patriarch of the Demon Cloud tribe would attack. After being stopped by the Heavenly Thunder State's Lord, the Demon Cloud patriarch's face was extremely gloomy. I came here only to kill him, the Demon Cloud clan's clan chief said coldly. The Grand Devil Cloud Prefecture's prefecture master chased you all the way here just to kill a profound king. Clearly, the Heavenly Thunder Prefecture's master didn't believe it. However, what the Demon Cloud Patriarch said next made the Lord of the Sky Thunder region fall silent. Tianlei, this person killed the young generation of the Demon Cloud family, Demon Cloud Lianju. He will definitely die. No one can stop me. The Demon Cloud family leader said in a deep voice. What? Hearing this, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State was a little surprised. Then, he stared at Fang Chen and observed him carefully. This person was really audacious. He even dared to kill a member of the Demon Cloud family. Moreover, the person he killed was not someone else, but the Demon Cloud Lianju, who was heavily cultivated by the Demon Cloud family. Tianlei, although this person escaped to your Heavenly Thunder State, if you insist on stopping me, then I will represent the Demon Cloud Prefecture and declare war on your Heavenly Thunder State. The Demon Cloud Patriarch said coldly. The meaning of his words was obvious. He had to kill Fang Chen. If the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State stopped him, it would lead to a war between the two states. For a profound king, he would not hesitate to start a war between the two states. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State also felt that the Demon Cloud Patriarch had fallen into a state of madness. After thinking for a long time, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State shook his head and said, Demon Cloud, I will not stop you, but you have to leave my Heavenly Thunder State as soon as possible. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State would not start a war with the Demon Cloud Prefecture for a profound King Realm martial artist that he did not know. Uncle Fu, who was behind him, also nodded slightly. Fang Chen, who was standing below, had been paying attention to the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State. After hearing the words of the Demon Cloud Patriarch, Fang Chen's heart was filled with anger. Damn the Demon Cloud family! In order to kill him, they would not hesitate to start a war between the two states. The Demon Cloud family hated him to the core. Facing the tough attitude of the Demon Cloud family, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State did not stop this matter. Fang Chen was in danger again. Hearing this, the Demon Cloud Patriarch nodded and took a step forward, rushing toward Fang Chen. Boy, you will die without a doubt. No one can save you. The Demon Cloud Patriarch said coldly. At this time, Fang Chen did not care so much. With a shake of his wrist, a token appeared in an instant. Then, he picked up the token and shouted at the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State in the sky. Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State, please save my life. Hearing Fang Chen's shout, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State looked at Fang Chen. State Lord. Uncle Fu reminded the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State, not wanting the latter to help. However, when the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State looked at the token in Fang Chen's hand, his eyes were burning. Suddenly, his eyes were filled with passion. Then, in a flash, he appeared before Fang Chen. Where did this token come from? The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State asked hurriedly. My elder brother gave it to me. Fang Chen said. Your elder brother? The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State was surprised and continued to ask. Fang Chen nodded and said, he said that he used to be the State Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State and gave me this token. He asked me to come to the Heavenly Thunder State to find you if I was in danger. Heavenly Thunder, get out of the way. Seeing this, the Demon Cloud Patriarch roared loudly. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State ignored the Demon Cloud Patriarch's roar and stared at the token in Fang Chen's hand. Heavenly Thunder, do you want the two states to go to war? The Demon Cloud Patriarch said angrily. He did not believe that the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State would go to war with the Demon Cloud State for a guy in the mysterious King Realm. However, things went beyond the Demon Cloud Patriarch's expectations. Hearing this, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State turned around and looked at the Demon Cloud Patriarch. Demon Cloud, this boy is destined to be with me. For my sake, let him go. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State said. Impossible. The Demon Cloud Patriarch shook his head and said coldly, either the two states go to war or you get out of the way. The Demon Cloud Patriarch's attitude was very tough. He had to kill Fang Chen and no one could stop him. Uncle Fu hurried to the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State and dissuaded him, State Lord, you can't. He did not understand why the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State was so determined to help this boy. Hearing the Demon Cloud Patriarch's words, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State fell into silence and seemed to be thinking. At this moment, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State recalled what Thunder Freer had said to him before he left. If one day, someone comes to the Heavenly Thunder State with my token, help him at all costs. This sentence lingered in the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State's ears. After carefully recalling Thunder Freer's words, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State was even more determined. He suddenly raised his head and a majestic aura emerged in an instant. Let's go to war. These three words represented the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State's determination. Heavenly Thunder, are you crazy? The Demon Cloud Patriarch did not expect that the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State would go to war with the Demon Cloud State for Fang Chen. With me here, you can't touch him. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State said in a deep voice. At the same time, with a thought-rich aura wrapped Fang Chen. Seeing this, the Demon Cloud Patriarch was furious. Good, very good, Heavenly Thunder, I will remember you. One day, you will regret your decision. The Demon Cloud Patriarch roared angrily. In the end, the Demon Cloud Patriarch left. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State protected Fang Chen. Uncle Fu looked puzzled, but the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State did not explain anything to him. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State came to Fang Chen's side, asked about the latter's injuries, and then took Fang Chen back to the state city of the Heavenly Thunder State. The next day, A shocking news spread wildly in the 24 states of Remnant Island. The news came from the Demon Cloud State. The Demon Cloud State and the Heavenly Thunder State officially went to war. The Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State personally issued this order. The people of the Demon Cloud State were also gathering forces to attack the Heavenly Thunder State. In the history of Remnant Island, such things have happened before, but that was a long time ago. It was so long ago that people have long forgotten. Now, the Demon Cloud State was going to war with the Heavenly Thunder State. The other states adjacent to the two major states were shocked. There were a total of 24 states on Remnant Island and they had always restrained each other. Now, the Demon Cloud State took the lead to break the deadlock and challenged the Heavenly Thunder State. Everyone was confused, only the Demon Cloud State and the Heavenly Thunder State knew. When the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State heard the news, he immediately replied that the Heavenly Thunder State was not afraid of the Demon Cloud State. If they wanted to fight, they would fight. This news became more and more intense. All the martial artists were crazily spreading this news. But they didn't know that the war between the two states was only caused by a mysterious King Realm martial artist. At this time, Fang Chen was cultivating in the state city of the Heavenly Thunder State. Heavenly Thunder State, State City, inside a heavily guarded mansion. Many Heavenly Dipper Realm martial artists were sitting on armchairs, and there was a throne at the top. Everyone was talking about the war between the two states. Why does the Demon Cloud State want to go to war with our Heavenly Thunder State? It is said that it is caused by a mysterious King Realm martial artist. The State Lord is too reckless. The war between the two states will cause great suffering. Many martial artists were not in favor of the war between the two states. Just as everyone was talking, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State appeared. State Lord. Everyone got up and cupped their hands to the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State. I know your confusion. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State went straight to the point. The fact is, as you guessed. The war between the two states is because I saved a person who the Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State must kill. What? Everyone was a little surprised when they heard this. However, when the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State explained the identity of this person, everyone fell into silence. Chapter 1001. What sworn brother of Thunder Freya? Everyone was shocked when they heard this. Then, they looked at the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State. They didn't want the Heavenly Thunder State to go to war with the Demon Cloud State before. But now, they agreed with the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State. Although Thunder Freya had disappeared for 10,000 years, he had always been the totem of the Heavenly Thunder State. A long time ago, the Heavenly Thunder State fell into a dangerous situation. It was Thunder Freya who turned the whole situation around by himself and helped the Heavenly Thunder State survive the crisis. Since then, Thunder Freya had become the totem of the Heavenly Thunder State, a great hero in everyone's heart. 10,000 years ago, Thunder Freya disappeared for no reason. All the martial artists in the Heavenly Thunder State were spontaneously looking for Thunder Freya. However, after so many years of searching, there was no news at all. Recently, Thunder Freya returned, and the whole Heavenly Thunder State was extremely excited. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State even directly gave up the position of the State Lord and let Thunder Freya continue to be the State Lord. However, he was rejected by Thunder Freya. He had already stepped into the Heavenly Body tier, and the small Heavenly Thunder State was destined to not be his stage. He left the Heavenly Thunder State. However, this couldn't stop the martial artists of the Heavenly Thunder State from worshipping him. The person the Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State wanted to kill was actually Thunder Freya's brother. When the higher-ups of the Heavenly Thunder State heard this news, they couldn't sit still. Even if we die, we can't let Thunder Freya's brother be killed. Yes, if you want to stand, then let's fight. Our Heavenly Thunder State is not afraid of the Demon Cloud State. State Lord, we support your decision. Everyone expressed their opinions. Seeing this, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State grinned. The Heavenly Thunder State and the Demon Cloud State were at war, and both sides had sent out their armies. The final battlefield was at the junction of the Heavenly Thunder State and the Demon Cloud State, which was the wasteland outside the city where the Divine Medicine Pavilion was located. This wasteland was originally nameless, But now, it had a new name, the Death Plane. Because the war happened here. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. Fang Chen's injuries had healed. When he heard the news that the Heavenly Thunder State and the Demon Cloud State were at war because of him, he felt very guilty. At the same time, he was even more grateful to his big brother, Thunder Freer. If it weren't for Thunder Freer, the Heavenly Thunder State Lord wouldn't have helped at all, let alone start a war with the Demon Cloud State. The war that had lasted for a month had caused the death plains to be shrouded in a dense death aura. The plains were littered with corpses. Of course, the two prefectures had a tacit understanding that the Heaven Dipper realm martial artists would not participate in the battle. The martial practitioners sent by both sides of the war were basically all profound King realm martial practitioners. Heavenly Dipper realm martial artists' destructive power was too strong. Once they participated in the battle, it was bound to be a disaster. This was also something that the two prefectures did not want to see. Actually, the reason why they started a war with the Heavenly Thunder Continent was because of the Heavenly Thunder Continent. The first reason was because Fang Chen killed Demon Cloud Lianju, and the Demon Cloud clan leader wanted to kill him. The second reason was that the Demon Cloud Patriarch was pressuring the Heavenly Thunder Continent. A battle between mystic kings was nothing in the eyes of the two prefecture lords. As long as it is not a Heaven Dipper realm-level war, it is impossible to hurt the foundation of the two states. One day, Fang Chen found the Heavenly Thunder State's lord. "Your injuries have healed." The Heavenly Thunder State's lord smiled when he saw Fang Chen. "State Lord, thank you for taking care of me these days." Fang Chen cupped his hands and thanked him. The Heavenly Thunder State's lord waved his hand and said, "It's my duty." "State Lord, you didn't hesitate to start a war with the Demon Cloud State for me. I feel uneasy." Fang Chen said in a low voice, "Why don't you let me participate in the war?" Fang Chen also heard that both sides of the war had sent profound King realm martial artists. As long as it was not a Heaven Dipper realm martial artist, Fang Chen was confident that he could escape unscathed. "They want to kill you. If you appear on the battlefield, you will definitely be targeted by the other party. It's very dangerous," the Heavenly Thunder State's Lord said. "Moreover, you don't have to feel guilty. The Demon Cloud State and my Heavenly Thunder State are not fighting for you." Hearing this, Fang Chen was a little surprised. He wanted to ask, but he didn't speak. Since the Heavenly Thunder State's Lord didn't say, then he must have his reasons. "State Lord, there are only profound King realm martial artists on the battlefield. There are no Heaven Dipper realm martial artists. With my strength, even if I encounter danger, I can escape unscathed," Fang Chen said. The Heavenly Thunder State's Lord thought for a moment, and then agreed to Fang Chen's request. After Fang Chen left, the Heavenly Thunder State's Lord looked through the void, looked at the sky, and murmured, "Demon Cloud, are you still thinking about that thing?" Fang Chen followed the large team and came to the tent in front of the death plane. "Fang Chen, this is the large team of our Heavenly Thunder State. This is the Chief Commander." The martial artist who sent Fang Chen introduced. "Fang Chen, I know you." The Chief Commander looked at Fang Chen and said, "Chief Commander." Fang Chen greeted. "You rest first, I will arrange for you to join the battlefield later," the Chief Commander said. On the same day, Fang Chen was arranged in a tent. The next day, he joined the battlefield. After entering the death plane, Fang Chen saw piles of corpses, and the surroundings were shrouded in the aura of death. "Kill." The sound of killing shook the sky, and all the martial artists were killing in a frenzy. As soon as Fang Chen entered, he was attacked. "Die." A 7th-level profound King realm martial artist rushed towards Fang Chen and launched a fierce attack. Seeing this, Fang Chen's face showed a trace of disdain. He did not even take out the hidden star sword. Instead, he activated his god-grade sword body and punched towards the martial artist. Bang! The 7th-level profound King realm martial artist's head was directly smashed, and he died instantly. In the following time, Fang Chen kept fighting. 3 Revolution Radiant Sword Art, Void Meteorite Annihilation, and Spacetime True Intent were used continuously. With Fang Chen's strength, as long as he did not encounter a Heaven Dipper realm martial artist, a profound King Realm martial artist was basically no threat to him. On the first day of joining the battlefield, Fang Chen killed hundreds of profound King Realm martial artists. The lowest was a 5th-level martial artist, and there were even 9th-level martial artists. In half a month, the number of martial artists Fang Chen killed had already reached 1,000. His hands were stained with blood. Finally, after half a month, Fang Chen's identity was discovered. What? Fang Chen joined the battlefield. When the Patriarch of the Demon Cloud Patriarch heard the news, the first thing he did was to gather the half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists and give them a death order. Kill Fang Chen. I can fulfill any condition. The Patriarch of the Demon Cloud Patriarch's promise made many half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists excited. From this day on, all the half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists of the Demon Cloud continent on the battlefield were looking for Fang Chen. Fang Chen, go to hell. In a certain area, Fang Chen had just killed a 9th-level profound King Realm martial artist when he heard an angry roar. Immediately after, a powerful attack surged out. Void Meteorite Annihilation. Fang Chen shouted in a low voice and directly displayed the Void Meteorite Annihilation. With the true meaning of time and space, he resisted this person's attack. Seeing this, the half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist was a little surprised. However, next, this half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist launched an all-out attack. Bang bang bang. Fang Chen constantly used the true meaning of time and space and the Void Meteorite Annihilation to resist this martial artist's attack. Poochie. After more than 30 moves, Fang Chen found an opportunity to stab with his sword and immediately pierced this person's arm. With a miserable scream, Fang Chen struck while the iron was hot and cut off this person's head. After killing this half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist, Fang Chen continued to kill the enemy. It was very quiet at night. In the barracks, all the martial artists had fallen asleep. The two sides had a tacit understanding. They entered the death plane to fight during the day and stopped fighting at night. After all, even a profound King Realm martial artist would be tired after continuous fighting. Fang Chen sat cross-legged alone in the tent, surrounded by rich spirit qi. During this time, he had been comprehending the star sky technique all the time. After the fruitless cultivation last time, Fang Chen also summed up a lot of experience. After coming to the death plane, he comprehended in the killing every day. Finally, Fang Chen was able to touch the threshold. Buzz. Suddenly, spots of brilliance appeared around Fang Chen's body. Then, Fang Chen found that the silver-gray aura in the air, which was invisible to the naked eye, was actually absorbed by his body. This discovery made Fang Chen very excited. He naturally knew what the silver-gray aura was. That was the supreme power of the stars. Ordinary profound King Realm martial artists could not even absorb the power of vital spirit, let alone the power of stars. But he actually absorbed a little. Although it was only a little, it was also a huge improvement. The star sky technique is really mysterious. Fang Chen's eyes were burning, and his face was full of excitement. His body could absorb the power of stars, which meant that he had already mastered the chant of the star sky technique. The following cultivation was much easier. Fang Chen spent the whole night comprehending the star sky technique. The next day, Fang Chen followed other martial artists and entered the death plane again. Day after day, the war continued. Both states seemed to be under control. The war did not affect much, and only profound King Realm martial artists participated. The other prefectures were all watching. As for Scar Island, they had not responded to this matter. No one knew what their attitude was. Since learning of Fang Chen's identity, the half-step Heaven Realm martial artists of the Demon Cloud State were crazily attacking Fang Chen. However, Fang Chen could not only easily get rid of the pursuit, but also kill them. After a few days, the Demon Cloud State finally made a big move. They believed that as long as they killed Fang Chen, this victory would be over. On this day, on the death plane, 15 half-step Heavenly Dipper realm martial artists scattered in all directions, pretending to attack while quietly surrounding Fang Chen. Fang Chen, who was killing the enemy, did not notice it at all. Poochie. After killing a profound King Realm martial artist, he suddenly felt that something was wrong. However, it was already too late at this moment. 15 half-step Heavenly Dipper realm martial artists already surrounded Fang Chen in the middle. Fang Chen, this war started because of you, and it will end because of you. To be able to make two states fight for you, you should be proud even if you die. Chapter 1002. I believe that the readers who have been following me since the beginning of the book also know that although the updates of this book are not little, the timing is too messy and too unstable. To be honest, the total number of words updated every month is not little. However, sometimes it is one update, sometimes it is 5 updates. This creates an illusion that the updates are not effective. Actually, I am also very dissatisfied with this. It is painful to wait for more readers every day, but I am even more miserable. As an office worker, I only have time to write after work every day. Under normal circumstances, I can basically write every day. However, everyone should know that there are too many things that affect the updates. Sometimes, when colleagues and friends go out for a meal, I have to go. However, once I go, I will not be able to update. All this time, I have been unable to update steadily. I feel very guilty to the readers who have been following me all this time. Therefore, after thinking about it, I have decided to save a few chapters and update them every day. This way, everyone will not have to wait. There are 2 reasons for opening this single chapter. First, today is Thursday. Until Sunday, there will be 2 updates every day because I want to save the rest of the manuscript. Second, starting from next Monday, there will be 5 updates every day. The initial time should be 7 o'clock in the morning every day, with all 5 updates. In order to not be impatient because of waiting for the updates, and to not be painful because of the update errors, I have opened a single chapter. Please look forward to the performance next Monday. Chapter 1003. 15 half-step Heaven Realm martial artists gathered together just to kill Fang Chen. The Demon Cloud family's hatred for Fang Chen had reached the point where even the heavens could not tolerate it. The patriarch of the Demon Cloud family even issued a death order to kill Fang Chen. On the death plane, the war was still going on. Some were happy, some were sad. At a glance, there were piles of corpses. The war had been going on for so long, and mysterious King Realm martial artists had been dying. Fortunately, there were so many mysterious King Realm martial artists in the extraterritorial area. Otherwise, they would have been defeated long ago. The losses of the 2 states were basically the same. When Fang Chen was besieged, the people of the Sky Thunder state had already noticed that something was wrong. They wanted to help, but they were stopped by the other mysterious King Realm martial artists of the Demon Cloud state. "Boy, the war will be over if we kill you," a half-step Heaven Realm martial artist said coldly. "If you want to stand, then let's fight." Fang Chen looked around and said coldly. The hidden star sword in his hand burst out a bright light, and his aura rose to the strongest. "Let's attack together." These half-step Heaven Realm martial artists knew how powerful Fang Chen was, so they did not dare to underestimate Fang Chen. So, the 15 of them attacked together. Rumble. The tyrannical aura broke through the sky. The sky was filled with attacks as they rapidly struck Fang Chen's body. Void Meteorite Strike. Fang Chen roared out as he executed the Void Meteor Annihilation. Above his head, the void tore apart as a series of boundless auras spread out instantly. Then, the majestic void force turned into a void spear, and then stabbed the attacks of the crowd fiercely. Crack. 15 half-step Heaven Realm martial artists besieged Fang Chen, and he could not resist at all with his own strength. The void spear was instantly shattered. These tyrannical attacks were one step closer to Fang Chen. The powerful aura shocked everyone on the battlefield. True meaning of time and space. At the critical moment, Fang Chen used the true meaning of time and space. Crash. His figure gradually disappeared into the void, and then he shuttled through the void, trying to escape. However, the attack of 15 half-step Heaven Dipper Realm martial artists was too tyrannical. Even if they hid in the void, it was useless. Rumble. Everyone's attacks exploded in the sky, causing cracks to appear in the void. Fang Chen, who had been hiding in the void, staggered out. His face was pale, and there was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth. Still not dead. When the crowd saw this, they were also a little surprised. 15 half-step Heavenly Dipper realm martial artists besieged, a full blow. This child actually did not die. Continue. The 15 people launched another attack, encircling and suppressing Fang Chen. In the face of everyone's thunderous attacks, Fang Chen's aura continued to surge. His mind was filled with the chants of the Void Meteor Strike. Void Meteor Annihilation. Fang Chen shouted in a low voice, once again displaying the Void Meteor Annihilation. Knock knock knock. At the same time, the golden heart beat rapidly. Traces of clear air flowed out from the heart, and then drilled into the Void Meteor Annihilation. Suddenly, there was a slight change in the Void Meteor Annihilation. The power of the void in the sky condensed into a void sphere, which contained bits of star power. Fang Chen looked at this scene in shock. In an instant, his mind recalled his experience of practicing the Void Meteor Annihilation. Crash. Fang Chen was in a state of epiphany. In the blink of an eye, the power of the void sphere was exerted to the extreme. I see. Fang Chen laughed, his face full of smiles. All this time, Fang Chen thought that he had practiced the Void Meteor Annihilation to the strongest state. However, this was not the case. If he had not been forced into a dead end today, he would not have discovered it. The Void Meteor Annihilation had not been cultivated to the peak. The real Void Meteor Annihilation can annihilate the void with one blow. Of course, with Fang Chen's current strength, it was impossible for him to achieve this. Although it was only a very short moment of epiphany, it was of great help to Fang Chen. When Fang Chen opened his eyes, the void spear in the sky suddenly tore through the void and fiercely collided with the attacks of the 15 people. Crack. This time, the power of the void spear actually resisted the attacks of the 15 people. Of course, it only took 3 seconds for the void spear to shatter. 3 seconds was too short for other people. But for Fang Chen, it was enough. Because he wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to perform the Star Heavenly skill. After thoroughly comprehending the Void Meteor Annihilation, Fang Chen found that he had been taking a detour while practicing the Star Heavenly skill. Let's give it a try. At this point, he could only give it a try. Buzz. In Fang Chen's mind, the chants of the Star Heavenly skill revolved. In the next moment, Fang Chen's body bloomed with bright light. In the air, traces of star power quietly drilled into Fang Chen's body. The Star Heavenly skill was a very powerful secret skill. It used the star power to form an attack. Hiss. Hiss. Fang Chen raised both his hands and a long sword that looked like it had been infused with gold appeared in his hands. The star power in his body quickly drilled into the golden long sword. Buzz. The Star Heavenly skill was performed. Boom. When the Star Heavenly skill was performed, the star power in the surrounding air crazily surged. Fang Chen held the golden long sword in his hand and fiercely collided with the attacks of the 15 people. Die. The 15 people were very confident in their attacks. This kind of tyrannical attack was enough to kill Fang Chen. However, when the golden longsword collided with them, the power of the stars instantly shattered the attacks of the 15 people with an unstoppable force. How is this possible? The faces of the 15 people were full of shock. How can his attack be so strong? Fang Chen was like a different person now. The golden longsword was too strange. It was like a demon's sword that could kill gods and demons. Crash. Wherever the golden longsword passed, the space directly tore and even showed signs of collapse. Too strong. Everyone felt the aura of the golden long sword and their hearts palpitated. Poochie. In a split second, the golden long sword directly pierced a half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist. This person did not have any power to resist. His body was instantly corroded by the star power and his soul was shattered. He died. What kind of attack is this? Everyone had lived for so long, but they had never seen such a tyrannical attack. Run. Suddenly, someone had the idea of running away and shouted loudly. Fang Chen was like a god of war, holding the golden long sword in his hand and chasing after them. Poochie. Every time the golden long sword was swung, someone was bound to be killed. The war on the death plane came to an abrupt end. All the martial artists stopped fighting and looked at this scene dumbfoundedly. A Mystery King realm martial artist killed a half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist and forced him to flee. Especially the many martial artists of the demon cloud state who participated in the war, their hearts were full of shock. They knew that 15 half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists were besieging Fang Chen. However, the result was beyond their expectations. In the blink of an eye, 5 half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artists died under Fang Chen's golden longsword. The power of the Star Sky technique was too strong. Is this the Star Sky technique? Fang Chen said to himself while killing the enemy. At this time, Fang Chen was also extremely shocked. Although the Void Meteorite strike was tyrannical, it was also within the scope of his cognition. As for the Heavenly Star Art, it was simply too ridiculously powerful. It's worthy of being the famous consummate skill of the Lord of Tongtian Island. Fang Chen could not help but sigh. Poochie. With a slash of the sword, another half-step Heaven Dipper realm martial artist died. At this time, many martial artists of the Heavenly Thunder State were shouting Fang Chen's name, almost crazily. Fang Chen, Fang Chen, Fang Chen. The martial artists of the Demon Cloud State who participated in the war fled frantically. On the death plane, an interesting scene appeared. Fang Chen alone, holding a golden long sword, chased after the people of the Demon Cloud State and killed them. When this news reached the ears of the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State, he was immediately overjoyed. Thunder Freya's brother is really extraordinary. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State grinned. Originally, he was a little worried. This war was also a great disaster for the Heavenly Thunder State. However, this problem was now perfectly solved. Fang Chen's killing directly led to the end of the war. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State hurried to the death plane. When he arrived at the death plane, Fang Chen was still using the Star Sky technique to kill the martial artists of the Demon Cloud State. At this time, the Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State also came. What secret method is this? It's so overbearing. The Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State stared at Fang Chen on the battlefield and said coldly. He was very angry in his heart. Because of Fang Chen, the Demon Cloud State and the Heavenly Thunder State started a war. Now, because of Fang Chen, he had to end the war in advance. The two camps had a prior agreement that the Heavenly Dipper realm martial artists could not participate in the war, and now Fang Chen was already invincible under the Heavenly Dipper realm. Die. The Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State suddenly attacked very quickly, wanting to take the opportunity to kill Fang Chen. However, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State had already expected this and calmly dealt with it. Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State, do you want to violate the agreement? The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State said coldly. Heavenly Thunder, this matter is not over. After that, the Patriarch of the Demon Cloud State turned and left in a flash. At the same time, everyone on the death plane was also fleeing. Poochie. After Fang Chen killed a half-step Heavenly Dipper realm martial artist, he was stopped by the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State. Fang Chen, come back. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State shouted. Hearing this, Fang Chen stopped attacking. With a thought, the golden long sword in his hand disappeared in an instant. Then, he stepped out, left the death plane, and returned to the side of the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State. Good job. The Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State patted Fang Chen on the shoulder and grinned. Lord, this is what I should do. Fang Chen said. On the verge of life and death, he made a breakthrough in the face of danger. The Heavenly Stars technique made the martial artists under the Heavenly Dipper realm in the Demon Cloud State extremely desperate. Through this war, Fang Chen's name resounded throughout the two states. He was worthy of being the #1 martial artist under the Heavenly Dipper realm. Some martial artists who had just entered the Heavenly Dipper realm did not dare to say anything about his combat strength. Hearing this, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State nodded. Then, the Lord of the Heavenly Thunder State waved his hand and said, "The war is over."